know, always honest, sometimes right. Ooh, you feel that energy rising. The truth is calling, but we'll need some analyzing. Open your mind, let's take a ride. Jaren's almost here, time to toss the lies to the side. Lights down low, crowd tuned in, truth unlocked, let the show begin. Red pill taker, no faker, no shill. Jaren's in the house, he always keeping it real. Always honest, sometimes right, he claims. He's seen the lies, he broke the chains. Now he's here to level up the game. Crypto truth, let's talk growth. Mind unlocked, yo, he does both. He's been around, he's seen it all. 10 years of flat, now we back on that ball. No more fakes, no more scams, no apps to track. Jaren's here to save the day from these lying maniacs. Oh, open up your eyes. The world ain't what it seems, no disguise. Take a step, take a breath, it's time to rise. No regrets, no regrets. Was flat, but that was whack. It was fake, out the gate, globe's a fact. So I went back, now I gotta shake the hate. Bad research, bad humans, bad intentions, filled with lies. You can tell the shape of the ground, just look up in the sky. He's a man who admits when he's wrong, when he makes a mistake. Them other little boys will never give up, since they said TFB was fake. We are waiting on the man, the myth, the legend, and host of the show. The show is about to start. 5 behind 2, 1, go, 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 go. The show is about to start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. Friday night, the vibe just right. Always honest, sometimes right my plight. Weekend here, the hustle unwind. Kick back, chillax, leave the grind behind. F you to the stress, F you to the grind. F you to the worry, ease your mind. F you to the noise, F you to the hype. F you to the drain, we're living life. Unplugged from the chaos, remote control. Soul on pause, now I take the stroll. Breathing deep, city's heartbeat slow. Find my peace in the urban glow. F you to the stress, F you to the grind. F you to the worry, ease your mind. F you to the noise, F you to the hype. F you to the drain, we're living life. Honey in my tea, rhythm in my veins. We can remedy for weekday strains. Lyrics lace the night, moon spotlight. Unplugged symphony till the daylight. F you to the stress, F you to the grind. F you to the worry, ease your mind. F you to the noise, F you to the hype. F you to the drain, we're living life. F you to the stress, F you to the grind. F you to the worry, ease your mind. F you to the noise, F you to the hype. F you to the drain, we're living life.
It's Friday night, y'all. You guys ready to go? Friday night Unplugged Love Jams coming at you. You got something to say to that special someone? This is the place to do it. Want to tell Dominique that you guys are through because she can't stop talking about flat earth? Let's do it right now. Jeranism, Friday Unplugged. Coming at you in just minutes.
Unplugged from the chaos, remote control. Soul on pause, now I take the stroll. Breathing deep, city's heartbeat slow. Find my peace in the urban glow.
That's right. 12 seconds till we go. And then you can tell Rodrigo that if he ever says water finds its level again, it's over. You're cutting him off. No more Putinani for him. Let's do it. Time out. Reverse it. And welcome everybody to another episode of Friday Unplugged. Glad that you are here. How's my sound? Does it sound too quiet? I need to turn up a little bit, I believe. Let's give it a little bit of extra juice. Somebody in the chat tell me that we are okay. We're ready to go. We're happy. Everybody's feeling good. It's Friday. How could you be feeling bad? How could you be feeling bad? We're going to start out with a quiz. Yeah, we don't say that anymore, Benny. Come on, Benny. Get up to speed. We don't say that anymore. And it is the buildings across Lake Michigan and Chicago, but and it's not a mirage, but it is a sphere Earth nonetheless. And shit happens. You know what you can do. Tony, thank you very much for giving me the 5-by. I appreciate that. It is episode number 2, season 3. And I've actually got a guest in the house, believe it or not. We got somebody sitting next to me. He came to visit me, and we'll talk a little bit about that shortly. But we will first talk about Galactrix Bear, who's in the chat. Just the biggest idiot there ever was. Everybody give him a hard time. He'll be booted soon enough. Guy is clueless as it gets. Clueless as it gets. These guys think that logic means something when they can't even get it out right. They just can't. They think that because you can say, well, oh, Jaron doesn't have a justified belief in the globe Earth because he didn't have a justified belief in the flat Earth, and because of justified beliefs, and shut up. It's very simple. I was under the false impression of things in the South. When I found out the South is not a lie, that makes the South the opposite of the North, which makes the Earth a sphere. Get over it. Stop being a crybaby. Look at this guy. Can you imagine having to come to my chat? Galactrix Bear, just so you know, I'll never go to one of your shows. I'll never go to one of your chats. I'll never watch one of your shows. Do you understand the difference between me and you? Do you see the difference? Where you can't get me out of your mind? That's the difference. Quite different. Let's get to the quiz time, shall we? We're going to see if somebody can win something. Let's see if Galactrix can actually win something. See if he's got any skills at all. I doubt it. I doubt it very highly. Let me get this started, see if we can see this on the screen. You've got 1 minute until the quiz starts. Be ready. There it is. It is called Unplugged Trivia. It's going to be 11 questions, I believe. Let's hope that I typed them in all right. 11 questions. And I don't know what the prize will be for the first place. You can probably take home any Dearth ball that you want. Although you cannot take the first week's David Weiss Dearth ball because that has been sold or given away to a human being. Won the trivia last week and got to take that home. So we have all the other ones available, including today's, including last week's. Or maybe you just want my autograph or something. Enrique is here. Enrique, thank you for joining us today. How is everything going?
I'd push a flat earther off the edge, but they just say, perspective, save them.
Good point. Nice to have you. By the way, we do have another member. Oh, we got 10 seconds. We'll talk about the other person joining us. We have 2 more people joining us actually today. In the house. Ready. Be ready. Here we go. The question, first question is, be ready. All you have to do, by the way, if you're in the chat, just type the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 for each question. Question number 1. Earth is the blank biggest planet in the solar system. Is it the 9th? Is it the 5th? Is it the 4th? Is it the 3rd? Type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat. 1 for 9th, 2 for 5th, 3 for 4th, 4 for 3rd. Earth is the blank biggest planet in this solar system. Who will get it right? Who will get it very, very wrong? We shall see shortly. People will be getting their answers in. You have 2 seconds. You have 1 second. Exposing Ma's tricks, that is not a correct answer. Not correct. Everybody's answering. Everybody's getting it in. Megs, that's not the correct answer either. Nope. Nope. All right, the correct answer is 5th. 5th biggest planet. We've got Saturn and Jupiter and Neptune and Uranus, possibly bigger. I don't know if that's correct. It's coming close to that. All right, let's go to the next one. If we know that 10 miles has 66 feet of curve and 5 miles has 16 feet of curve, how many feet of curve in 2.5 miles? Might be tough for people, or you could see the pattern there. Is it 1, 8 feet, 2, 4 feet, 3, 2 feet, 4, 12 feet? Again, if we know the Earth has 66 feet of curve in 10 miles, and in 5 miles it has 16 feet of curve, how many feet in 2.5 miles is the question? Okay, your time is up. And again, if it's 10 miles and 66 feet, you take half of the half. So in 5 miles, it's half of the 66 would be 33, half of that down to 16. If you take 5 miles at 16, half of that is 8, half of that is 4. The correct answer is 4. 4 feet of curvature in the 2.5 miles. Some people got it right, many people did not. Let's go to question number 3. There's only 11. Don't worry, we'll go quickly. Don't run away from me. We've got, if you see the sun setting diagonal, right to left, which of the following is true? 1, you're in the south. 2, you're in the north. 3, it's the equinox. 4, it is summer. Again, if you see the sun setting diagonally, right to left, which of the following is true? You're either in the south, you're in the north, it is the equinox, or it is summer. Please give us your answer. You've got 1 second. And the correct answer is, you should know this by now if you've been watching my show, I've been trying to drill it into you. If you see a sunset or a sunrise moving diagonally right to left, you are in the south. Always in the north, left to right. Look at that, 86% people are learning. Good. Let's go to another question, number 4. Number 4. At Union Glacier Camp in Antarctica on December 14th, what was the approximate high and low for the sun? 40 high, 20 low? 35 high, 15 low? 30 high, 20 low? Or 25 high, 20 low? That is talking about, of course, the altitude of the sun. It was at a high in the north, low in the south. Was it at 40 high, 20 low, 35 high, 15 low, 30 high, 20 low, or 25 high, 20 low? And if you listen to me talk in the last couple weeks, then you know that answer. As I mention it all the time, and we'll talk a little bit about it, but it was at 35 high, 15 low. And once you know that, you can answer the next question. Very good, 72%, nice job. Then we have this next question, which is based on that, at the 35, 15. That question is, based on the previous answer of 35 high and 15 low, how far is the geometric South Pole? So if we know that we're 35 high, 15 low, can we then determine from that number what our distance is to the geographic South Pole? Is it 1, 690 miles, 2, 550 miles, 3, 1333 miles, or 4, 1040 miles? And I will explain to you that answer here as soon as our time's up. We got 2, we got 1, we got 0. So at 35 and 15 low, how do we make those numbers even? We would have to go how far? 10 groups or 10 degrees to make it 25, 25, which would be the South Pole. And if it's 10 degrees, it's 69 miles per degree. The answer is 690 miles. 40% got that right. A bunch of people got it wrong. Let's go on to number 6. Number 6. How many stacked Burj Khalifas would it take to reach the summit of Mount Everest? Is it 1, 8 Burj Khalifas, 2, 4 Burj Khalifas, 3, 22 Burj Khalifas, or 4, 11 Burj Khalifas? How many Burj Khalifas would it take to reach the summit of Everest? Kind of easy question. If you know the height of Everest, then from that you should be able to kind of figure out which one of those is closest. I would think. Could be wrong. What's up in the house is I'm the Craig. Let us see here. We've got 11 Burj Khalifas is the correct answer. 50% of you got it right. The others wrong. It's okay. You'll get there. Let's go with question number 7. Jaren's first laser test was across what distance? I do not know why this is still in the test. It shouldn't be, but we already answered this last week. My bad. 1 is 8.8 miles, 2 is 4 miles, 3 is 13.5 miles, 4 is 10 miles. Hopefully the rest of the quiz isn't screwed up. Now I gotta go look. Why is that question still in there? Did I screw up something? It's not gonna let me see because I already started. Well, let's hope the next 2 are right. I hope there's only that many more. It's kind of scary. All right, the correct answer was 4 miles was that distance of the first laser test, which was answer. Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's hope that the rest of these are correct. I hope I didn't accidentally upload only some of the right questions. All right, here comes question number 8. Please be this week's questions. Don't screw with me. What is next Thursday? That is correct. What is next Thursday? Is it the VIP Hangout? Is it Speaker's Corner? Is it Jaren's birthday? Or is it the 4th of July? What is next Thursday. 1, VIP Hangout. 2, Speaker's Corner. 3, Jaren's birthday. 4, 4th of July. And the correct answer. Well, exposing Ma's tricks, that's as if you think that people who went out and measured and it didn't see it, they uploaded that to YouTube. Yeah, right. That would mean they're honest. Give me a break. Not going to find that on YouTube. Not going to find it. We've got Speaker's Corner is correct. 84%. Nice job. Okay, we got question number 9. Number 9 is, sorry about that old one being in there, but it's still good. We might have 12 questions. That's the only thing. At Union Glacier Camp in Antarctica, the degree of longitude is 13 miles. What is that distance on flat Earth? So exposing Ma's tricks, why don't you get this answer right, and then you tell me what you think. 1, 45 miles. 2, 204 miles. 3, 15 miles. Or 4, 118 miles. Again, at Union Glacier Camp in Antarctica, a degree of longitude is 13 miles. What is that distance on flat Earth? 45 miles, 204 miles, 15 miles, 118 miles. Because if that answer is 204 miles, we've got a big problem in the fact that that would be impossible to hide from people, and there would be no freaking way that the Earth could be flat and nobody know it if that answer is 204 miles. And the answer is 204 miles. So where we measure 13 miles on the Earth, it's actually 204 miles in magic fairyland. Exposing Ma's tricks lives there, and a couple other people who can't get out of there. They're stuck in that world. Trying to get them out, but they don't want to listen. Number 10. Which describes modus tollens? 1, if P then Q, Q therefore P. 2, if P then Q, P therefore Q. 3, if P then Q, not Q, so not P. Or 4, if P then Q, then R, not R, then not Q. I'm not going to read those again. It's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which describes the modus tollens version of the affirming the consequent? Or type of it. Is which one of those? Do you know? If you guessed if P then Q, not Q, so not P, you are correct. There it is. 34% of you should have done a little better. All right, that's all right. See, we're getting down to the end here. We've got one more question, I believe. Question number 11 for all the marbles. Who's going to win it? We are giving away marbles at the end of the show. Who was last week's Dearth Ball of the Week? 1, Vlad. 2, Mark Sargent. 3, Flatzoid. 4, Eric Dubé. Last week's Dearth Ball of the Week. Was it Vlad? Was it Mark Sargent? Was it Flatzoid? Was it Eric Dubé? Let's see your answers. And then we will run it and see who is the winner. Who be the winner today? Is that all the questions? Yeah, question 11. Okay. That's it. Good luck. We'll see who wins. The correct answer is, of course, one of the supreme Dearth Balls that ever existed, Eric Dubé, and his pillow as he sits at the couch. Let's see who won. Good luck to everybody. It will be the one, the only. I didn't really pay attention. I don't know who I would think won. Alan? No. Addicted to Globing takes it down. Not even close. Not even a tie. We've got Globe Turd Society was in second place. 710 Extracts in third. Me in fourth. Lost Lands in fifth. And you can see the rest there. Alan came in seventh. Tony Coriolis, 9th. Ryan Murphy, 11th. What does that say? Chalkhead, 12th. Dick Wayne down there at 18th. And Nico's Coyote in 19th. And then 2 other players. So congratulations to Addicted to Globing. I don't know what you want. I will reach out to you. I do know where to find you. And we will find out what you want to take home. If you want one of these Dearth Balls, we can certainly do that. We can certainly do that. We might as well get that out of the way now. Do you want to find out who the Dearth Ball of the Week this week is? Well, we'll come back here real quick and say hi to everybody. Then we will get on our way. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Unplugged Arena, as you can see. And we are good to go. I believe we are ready. And I've got a guest with us. I don't know if they can hear you. Can you say something, see if they can hear you?
Hello, Jared. It's good to be here.
Can you hear that? Probably not. Probably can't hear that. But we will come back to it. Anyway, we will come back to that. We'll let them speak up a little bit. But first, we want to say we did get somebody else in the house. So you guys remember NBA Jam, the great video game? He's the one who came up with Boom Shakalaka. People all know that very well. So he has actually joined the squad. He's here in studio. So whenever he needs to, he'll pipe in, say something funny. Let's see what he's got here.
He's spinning, just like the Earth he denies.
See? So he's ready to go. He's all good. That's a little loud, though. Let me turn that down a little bit. It's a little too loud for me. Let's see here.
We measure Earth flat. Sure, Nathan. And that was the sound of your iPad, too.
See, he's got a little loud mouth. He's a little funny. He does say some funny things. Thank you for joining, though. I appreciate it. He's got a lot of things to say about, like, Steven Alonso. He's like,
Starting at point guard, number 0, standing 8'5" tall, kinda looks like 5'8". He's a pilot, professor, professional bodybuilder, 3-point leader, porn star, life coach, and has TFE merch for sale. Here in his 3rd trimester, Mr. Honest, Steven, all flat maps predict the 24-hour sun. Alonzo!
So he's pretty good. Pretty good. He's got lots of things to say about Sov. Man.
Grandpa Saul is on fire. He hasn't been right once in 6 months. That streak is unheard of.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that. So he's here. He's ready to pipe in. If Waffle House sends a tip, we can get him ready. And what do we got this one? I'm trying to say.
Eric Dubé is off tonight. Will be busy copying his next book word for word off Robotham. Such a great writer Eric is.
Right. So you guys say Dr. Alonso. Oh, Dubé.
Eric Dubé brings the ball up the court, doesn't want to pass it, finally does over to DJ Curious, who just stands there looking confused. Wait, from inside his shorts comes Mark Sargent, who was hiding in there, grabs the ball, and crosses half dork, hand off to David Weiss, who is in Mark's pocket, dribbles, tries to sell the app to those at courtside. He ducks, dives, lies, and cuts ties. He's still playing damage control. He's pressured, so he passes to his Microsoft whistleblower, who doesn't exist, and the ball skips away. There's Jaren. He saves the day. Comes up with the ball based on facts and evidence and not his religious text. He's got a wide open path, but the entire team is surrounding him, and oh boy! Oh geez! Jaren made a mistake. It appears, yes indeed it looks like, he brought truthers the truth. They want none of it. They just grabbed the ball and popped it. The ball has been popped by those loud, snot-nosed, possibly retarded flat earthers down there. How could they? And look over there. Now they just threw Jaren under the bus. Brutal. Well, I guess we're going to play Frisbee now.
Got to play Frisbee now because they popped the ball. So Enrique's here. I got 2 people now. Enrique, they're wondering where you're at and all that fun stuff.
When you talk cosmology, I just pretend I'm dead.
Thank you. He's kind of, he doesn't even pay attention to the show, really. That's the problem. All right, let's get to this week's wonderful Dirt Ball of the Week. Should be fun. Who is it going to be? Let's find out together. Shall we? Dirt Ball of the Week. Good luck to everybody, all the entrants who tried so hard this week.
Try to be best, well this week you're the man. Yeah, there's no way that you can escape it. Hard to believe you went and did that stuff. Such a dirtball, that's a mistake. History repeats itself. Try hard and you'll succeed. Every Friday when we name another dirtball of the week. You're the best around. Double of the week, enjoy your crown. You're the best around. With dirtball levels of just a sound. You're the best around. Ain't nobody that can keep this double down.
Uh-oh. Watch out for that shovel. Oh, you got hit by the shovel. This week's Dirt Ball of the Week is Banjo, Brazil, Tokyo, Mazatlan, and Mozambique. Dumbo, retard. Banjo, you are, without any shadow of a doubt, this week's Dirt Ball of the Week. Let's find out why, shall we?
You're the best around. The very best double pound for pound. You're the best around. Not just in your town, you're world renowned. You're the best around. It wasn't even close, you won hands down.
So we're going to be looking at, for months now, this so-called Christian has been doing what Christians are not supposed to do, which is basically making false accusations, calling me a liar, calling Witsit a liar, and the actual real liar in the whole situation is Banjo. doing exactly what the Bible says you can do.
Around, devil of the week, enjoy your crown. You're the best around. With devil levels of just a sound, you're the best around. Ain't nobody that can keep this devil down.
Yeah, you may have not seen it coming, but it is the truth. And you can see here, he's like, nah, for sure. Banjo, you are? Dirtball. What? But the compass. But I feel that I used to put luggage in the airplane. I know that the A-map's real because I used to put luggage in the airplane. Compass. Jaron and Austin, they're shills. They've been doing this for 10 years. They've been lying for 10 years. Not being honest like me. I love RV truth and have no clue what I'm talking about. Compass. That's all he's got. That's all he's got. Let's get to... Oh, I didn't know that's... I thought that... Oh, I'm rewinding it. Sorry. That's not what we meant to do. We screwed that up. It's okay. We're going to stop that. Don't worry. We're going to stop that. It's not going to play again. I just have to find the right screen. Get off there. Jeez. What is going on here? Hold on one second. I got to get this off the screen too. This is not right. Where is the chat that shouldn't be there? Where you're looking at my soundboard. This is all screwed up. Now you get to see the soundboard. Look at. See, now you're going to see what happens when I press baby daddy.
You change sides more than my cousin switching baby daddy.
See? Now you get to see me press Blaine slow.
Your brain is like Windows 95. Slow, outdated, and always crashing.
Yeah, but I can't find how to get it off the screen because which one are you under? We don't want you on there. This one? Image 2? No. One of these is going to turn that off. What screen is that on? There we go. We're back. Okay, sorry about that. You're not allowed to see the fourth wall. You can't really see that. All right, so I want to start out by reading something that I posted on Facebook yesterday, and then a lot of people had a lot of issues with it. Mostly people are coming at me saying, this guy's not a Christian. He's not allowed to say those things. But I'm speaking very much from a perspective of somebody talking to Christians. Okay, so let me read you what I wrote, and we will go from there. All right, so this is what I wrote yesterday. I said, I've heard many say that the shape of the earth is not a salvation issue. And that may be true. However, the way you treat people regarding the shape of the earth might be. Let me explain. It is so sad to see all the Christians who are making it quite clear that they are Christian by name only and act like the opposite. Then there is someone like me who will not adopt that name of Christian, but who operates in truth and integrity. I wonder who God finds more upright. Your own book says in Psalms 15, O Lord, who shall sojourn in my tent? Who shall dwell on my holy hill? He who walks blamelessly and does what is right and speaks truth in their heart, who does not slander with his tongue and does not do evil by his neighbor, nor takes up reproach against his friend, in whose eyes a vile person is despised, but who honors those who fear the Lord. He who does these things shall never be moved. Well, despite what all the liars, slanderers, and false accusers say, I walked blamelessly through Antarctica, doing what was right. I reported facts, speaking the truth. I slandered not and did no evil to anyone. I have said numerous times that I did not lie. The trip was 100% as advertised, with zero funny business. It is you who have chosen to disregard what I have said and to instead believe your own wicked hearts. There is only one of you Christians who has acted as Jesus would have instructed. Only one has remained my friend, asked questions, and not cast me out because of your beliefs. I thank her very much and won't say her name. She knows who she is. The rest of you call yourselves Christians, but who have turned against your back on me, slandered me, made up nonsense, and become wicked and evil, sending me messages anticipating the quick death of my family, as well as myself. Well, it may be a salvation issue then. I promise you, if heaven is real, and we are to be judged by the one above us all, it is quite clear who has done correctly in the eyes of God. Since he said, test all things, hold fast to what is good. So I went and tested, and I have been saying and tested what I've been saying, and found out I was in error. You have all tested nothing, but instead depended on your own version in your head. I have left the false behind and will now hold fast to that which is good, despite the hate that I get from all of you who say that they follow Christ. Simply put, you do not. Imagine those who believe so strongly that the Bible preaches flat earth, when it doesn't even make such a claim. But because they think it does, they disregard all the other things the book makes clear about what you're supposed to do. You shall not spread a false report. You shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness. Exodus 23:1. Think of the Christians who all they can do is spread lies. I won't judge you. It's not my job. But it is a fact that you are wrong and that you lie. False accusations is all Shelley Lewis, Banjo, RV, Flatzoid, Edward Hendry has, along with King Nico, Dustin Nemos, and so many others. You are all Christian by name, evil slanderer and false accuser by action. Exodus 20:16 says simply, You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, and yet you all do it every day. 2 Timothy 2:31 says, have nothing to do with foolish, ignorant controversies. You know that they breed quarrels, and the Lord's servant must be not quarrelsome, but kind to everyone, able to teach, patiently enduring evil, correcting his opponents with gentleness. I will continue living my life doing what is right, and while watching you all fail or fall into every trap they have laid. Proverbs 17:4 says, an evildoer listens to wicked lips, and a liar gives ear to the mischievous tongue. Think of all of you who have trusted, all those who you have trusted to tell you about my trip. Yes, it becomes more and more clear. At this point, one thing is obvious to me. Your religion is worthless. It has not made you a better person. I dare say it made you worse. And I am not the only one who thinks this, thinks that your religion is worthless. Your very Bible you swear by tells us the shape, tells us the shape of the earth, says exactly that in James 1:26. It says, if this has become the only thing you care about, if this has become the only thing you care about in the Bible, well, you truly may be, in fact, losing your salvation. James says, if anyone thinks he is a religious one and does not bridle his tongue but deceives his heart, this person's religion is worthless. I have not lied to any of you about my trip, and no one has lied to us about the shape of the earth. You have chosen to believe that. You have chosen to believe what you want, and in doing that, you may have lost the thing you said was most important to you. Keep hating, keep lying, keep listening to those who do. I'll be here with the truth when you're ready. First response I see here is, shut up, shill. We used to respect you. Now you're pulling the God card. Considering the subject matter, that's not smart unless you don't really believe in spiritual consequences. No, there is no spiritual consequences to telling the truth, dipshit. There is none. So I have no worries in my heart. I have no worries on my mind about it at all. What I do have worries about is people like Banjo, who won Dirtball of the Week for a reason. We're going to show you that. Is because he continues to spend every single week doing nothing but lying about us. Let me find this for you. And that's pretty pathetic because he's there talking to Christians, talking about being a Christian, doing what's right, being a good person. Yet he's actually, there more times in the Bible does it talk about not slandering, not incorrectly, not falsely accusing, not lying to people. It says that way more times than it says anything close to the earth being flat. So what people have done is they've turned their attention from the things that are important in the Bible to then saying the earth is flat. The Bible says so, which it doesn't. Nowhere that it says it's flat. And so they now care so much about that that they're willing to do all the other things that the Bible says don't do. That's the problem. So it doesn't matter if I'm not a Christian. I'm allowed to say, because Christians believe in that book. So all I'm doing is taking the book saying, if you really believe in this book, why is it that you care more about the flat earth that doesn't even say that in the book than you care about not slandering, not lying, not falsely accusing, bridle your tongue, etc., etc.? They can't do that. They would rather than think they might be wrong about their belief about the earth, they'd rather throw people like me under the bus that they've been friends with for 10 years. It's pretty sad because I used to think, oh, the shape of the earth isn't a salvation issue. No way. Now I'm thinking, well, look how it's turned people. Look what it's made them become. So then it is a salvation issue. I don't think that that's because you've turned it past the shape of the earth. Just the shape of the earth, not a salvation issue. The way you treat people, very well could be. So be careful on that. But again, people's argument to that was, Jaron, you're not a Christian. You can't say that. What do you mean? I am reading you from your Bible, and I'm saying if these people are Christians, which they claim to be, well, then I expect them to at least act like their Bible describes Jesus as acting. Well, I mean, Jesus didn't do the things that these people are doing. He didn't sit and lie about somebody every day. Well, I'll show you what Banjo's been up to, and that's exactly what he's been up to. It's just lying. Now, I know your opinion may be, well, Jaron, we don't know that you're telling the truth. I get it, but guess who does know? Me. So I know that I'm telling the truth, and I know that these guys are wrong on everything they're saying. So ultimately, that's all that matters to me, and I've explained it to them and showed them, and now I can't find where this... Why does it keep going to the blockchain? Weird. Okay, let me go here instead. I had Banjo's video up. There it is. Come on. Banjo. Yeah, I want to show you this first. Move this over here. Come on. Wake up. Okay, let me bring this up for you. If I can find it. Left screen. That's close enough, I guess. Let's see. Hold on, it's a little bad screen there. This one? A little better. All right. So let's do a quick look at Banjo's channel. I just want to show you what I'm talking about. So this is his channel. If we go down here and we go to his live videos, you'll notice that this is every single week. You'll see little toys being made about me and Witsit, little toy of me and Witsit that we are the TFE shills. You'll see down here we're in Monk's uniform for some reason. here, agent in place. Let's see if we can scroll this way. Let me actually shrink this down a little bit. 1 second. Get this a little smaller. That's better. You can see it week after week after week. I mean, this is a Christian when he's just dead wrong. Will somebody please tell him what he's doing? How can this be a good sign? He's basically spent a year every single week lying about me. Every single week. He's not getting anything right. I've never taken any money from Will Duffy. I've never agreed with any globe conglomerate or whatever you want to say. Never talked to NASA, never talked to anybody like that. But this guy just wants to he keeps telling his audience that he knows for a fact that I was a plant for 10 years. Look, he says here the sun sets in Antarctica. He comes out and says that there is no 24-hour sun. Oh, let me show you this. Let's start out with this. How his video opened Sunday. Check out this intro. Tell me what you think of this. I mean, look at these guys think it's fake. Busted. You hear that? Watch this wonderful intro here he's got. It's good stuff.
And coming in 2024, we are working on something massive, which we think will finally put this flat Earth idea to bed for good.
But the fact that if they didn't go, who would go, and then what would happen? So at least we know we have two solid guys that are going to get real information, and that are 0.0% chance that they are going to be corrupted or lie.
People remember behind the curve. I got, tricked on that one and signed a document that said they could use it.
And they look like they about to trick you again, Jared.
Now people want a Monday morning quarterback, and they want to look back and be like, you should have known that they were setting you up, and look what you did. You knew this was going to be bad for flat Earth, and why did you fall for that and all this? It's like, I didn't fall for anything. I would do it again.
I think we have our two best guys going, by the way. I think Austin and Jaren going together are the two most equipped to really see through.
And the sun is the most basic timekeeping piece that we have. It goes around the Earth in 24 hours. It's done that for every one of our lives, for all of the past that we know of. And so we know what the sun does.
The apparent motion of the sun is not uniform. For this reason, it would be difficult to construct a clock capable of keeping this irregular time. Therefore, a mean or imaginary sun is used.
I'm going to say that the globe has the better evidence at this time.
At one point I'm like, okay, this has only cost me a ton of money. It's put me in a terrible financial situation. It's put me in tons of stress. I actually got sick. I
would do it again.
And you watch my recent streams, when you lie, just so you guys know, and you may have health issues and you think they're unrelated. Maybe you really groggy and are always really tired, or you have some type of serious health issues you've been diagnosed with, and the doctor's telling you have this, and this wrong. Dude, you obsessively lying and being toxic and looking for fights on the internet and constantly attacking someone, slandering people, doing that kind of stuff to people, like having bad intentions and being deceptive and stuff like that, like you're gonna get sick. So I actually got sick. I would do it again.
So at least we know we have two solid guys that are gonna get real information,
when they come in and say, Jaron, the stars in the sky don't prove the ground that you stand on, then they haven't graduated to where they need to be yet.
I think we have our two best guys going, by the way.
Because we know what the sun does. It goes around the Earth in 24 hours.
The apparent motion of the sun is not uniform.
Home Depot doesn't change. It's still a flat Home Depot. No matter where you're at in the Home Depot, you put down a level, shows flat. If you're going to build a bridge in that Home Depot, you build it flat. You're going to build railroad tracks, you lay them flat. You build a house, a mall, an apartment complex, everything is handled as if it's flat. However, it's a ball.
I think we have our two best guys going, by the way.
This is something that would tell us one way or the other if there's a reason why we're not measuring curvature, and that reason is that it's flat, or if there's a reason we're not measuring curvature and it's because it's too big for us to measure.
I think we have our two best guys going, by the way.
People remember behind the curve, I got, tricked on that one and signed a document that said they could use it.
And they look like they about to trick you again, Jaron.
A wealthy globe Earth proponent named Will Duffy launched a campaign dubbed The Final Experiment. The only reason this straw man argument...
I just have to interrupt here real quick. So Eric Dubay calls the 24-hour sun in the south a straw man argument, yet it's one of his 200 proofs. How is that possible? So if it's a 200 proof, you put it in your book as a proof that the earth is flat. We went down and checked, and now you're saying us checking that is a straw man argument. You don't understand what a straw man argument means. It means it's different than your real argument. However, that is your real argument. You put it in your 200 proofs. What a loser.
Even has any legs to stand on, are because a couple suspicious, shilly, so-called flat earthers who I have repeatedly called out as disinformation agents.
Here comes the retard.
Welcome to the show, everyone.
Welcome, everyone.
Big introduction there.
Great introduction
Just a
by
quick
me.
mic check. Let me know if you guys can hear me
What's my
well,
compass
clear.
say? How about the compass?
So those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Right? So some people say, well, let's move on. Don't talk about EFE anymore. But we
They're probably
cannot
telling you that 'cause
just
you're a
let
liar.
our guards down. Because the moment we did, like...
So imagine, I just for a second, I always have to say, pretend you're me. Pretend you're me for a second, and the trip was 100%. You've been telling 100% truth. Now you're looking at this guy who's telling his audience how great of a Christian he is, but yet for 12 months, every single week, he's doing a show where he lies about me the entire time.
Back, I think a couple months ago, we moved on to something else, and then the guys came right back.
What?
So we cannot forget what these guys did. You see so
What did
much
we do?
contradiction between their own words. They
What did we do?
kind of turned themselves in
How's that? We turned ourselves in. What does that mean?
by their own words, you know.
By my own words, I turned
And
myself
I
in.
even want to talk about this stuff a little bit. So as you see, the 1952, I guess.
Let me tell you something he says in this video. You tell me if you believe this for a second. Mr. Honest over here. He says his computer that he's on, or that he was on, I think he said he got a new one, is 23 years old. Could you live stream from a computer 23 years old? I don't think so. Just calling bullshit on that. I would like to see this so-called computer from... Go back and look at what a computer was in 2002.
There was a U.S. Navy video put out on celestial navigation where they explained that
If they explained it, you didn't get it. You didn't understand, Banjo. If you think that they use a fake sun, let's
the
hear what you
real
have to say.
sun has does not have a uniform motion.
Correct, because it's not a circular orbit that the Earth is in.
And they even treat the Earth as being fixed and all the luminaries rotating around it.
Okay.
And one thing he stresses that the sun does not have a uniform movement.
We know that. That's why the analemma looks the way it does. If it had a uniform movement, the analemma would be a straight line, my friend.
For that reason, they use a imaginary sun.
They use an apparent sun so that our time is correct, but the sun itself is fine. If you were to have your clock set to the sun, it would be sometimes past noon when it gets to your head and sometimes on the other side of noon when it gets to your head. So it's just easier to go by the clock.
So, Jaron's words that the sun goes around, everybody knows the sun goes around 24 hours. No.
Know what?
People don't know that.
We don't know that the sun goes around in 24 hours, Banjo? Banjo, you are now so stupid that you think that, what does the sun take 36 hours sometimes? 25 sometimes, 39 other times, 46 and 10? Or is it 24 hours every day?
I thought that it goes because it's based on an imaginary sun.
It's not an imaginary sun. That keeps time better, but you're talking about the difference of a half a degree. Are you paying attention here? The sun goes around the earth in 24 hours. It's a known fact. It's above the Tropic of Capricorn in December. It's above the Tropic of Cancer in June. It's above the equinox in March and September.
Now, on a ball Earth, that destroys the heliocentric model.
Oh, it destroys the heliocentric model, guys. Guys, he just called it, destroys the ball Earth and the heliocentric model because the heliocentric model uses an apparent sun, which is a half a degree off the real sun, for better timekeeping.
You cannot have an Earth.
Oh, you can't have an Earth.
You cannot have a ball Earth
You can't have a ball Earth
rotating, where it rotates, let's say, 7 degrees an hour, and then the following degrees goes like 21 degrees.
Oh, so now sometimes the sun goes 7 degrees an hour and sometimes 21. This is the person you guys are listening to. But I will show you something exciting here real quick. Oh, I can't look at it now. Well, I'll duplicate this and show you. The only saving grace that we have is this.
They get $1.
This is what we have to work on. Oh, God. What does he say right here? I got to show you this just because it's funny. You're just about to say this. I don't want to miss it. Watch what he says here.
Have put some money in the production of this movie, and they are expecting like 100 million views.
Oh, are we?
If they get $1 per view, that's $100 million.
I got that to look forward to. If we get $1 per view, so we're looking for 100 million views, so I'll get $100 million. This is what this jackass is telling his audience, that I'm going to make $100 million when I can't afford to do shit. This guy thinks I'm going to make $100 million. Oh, wait. But I wanted to show you this. This is our only saving grace, is if we go to his videos and we go to the live videos, look what's happened. This is what happens when you just call me a liar every week. Look back here. We can look at 5 months ago. We got 2.9 thousand views, right? Then 3.5 thousand views. Then over here we got 3.1, 4.5. We got 2.9. We got 3.5. We got 2.7, 3.7, 3.7, 2.6. You noticing a trend? We are going 3.5, 2.4, 2.3, 2.7. Noticing a trend? We've got 3,000, 2.2, 2.1. 2. Notice a trend. 1.6, 1.7, 1.7, 1.4. Do we notice a trend? The trend is he's losing views quickly because people don't want to hear him just talk about me every single week, even though that's all he can seem to talk about. Rent-free in the guy's head. Let's continue.
Per hour, back to 14, and then goes to 17.
Oh, so the sun, it doesn't go 15 degrees an hour, guys. Sometimes it goes, let's hear that again, just so we can hear how stupid sounds.
Rotates, let's say, 7 degrees an hour.
Well, it rotates 7 degrees an hour.
And then the following degrees goes like 21 degrees.
Then the following degree, 21 degrees. Never happened in the history of the world. This guy's telling his audience that that's true.
Per hour. Back to 14. And
back to 14.
Then goes to 17.
Then 17.
On the ball Earth, this is impossible.
Right. On the ball Earth, it is impossible, and it doesn't happen. So what are you saying?
So that's why they consider an imaginary sun and divide the hours of the day. And actually, it's based on a yearly, 365. This is how they do.
This is how they do?
Everything is explained on the video.
Right. You
now,
didn't,
the flat Earth,
not well enough, I guess.
With the fixed Earth, non-rotating, flat Earth, the sun can do whatever it wants to do. Like
on the flat Earth, guys, the sun can do whatever it wants to do. This is the best truth I've ever heard. No wonder people are flat earthers. I didn't know that. So the globe model has very strict rules, but the flat Earth, sun can do whatever it wants to do.
In the Bible, it even went back 10 degrees according to the sundial of Akaz. Or when Joshua ordered the sun and the moon to stop.
Do you think he wears the beanie because his head's got a big hole in it that the brain fell out of, and he just wants to cover that up so we don't have to see it?
On the flat Earth, all those things, the sun having a non-uniform rate of motion, it's perfectly fine.
What?
This cannot happen on a ball Earth. Right?
What can't?
So right there, you
Hold on, let's
see
hear it
that
again. What did you say?
Rate of motion, it's perfectly fine. This cannot happen.
Wait, what?
All the sundial of Akaz.
What does he say about the sun here?
Or when Joshua ordered the sun and the moon to stop. On the flat Earth, all those things, the sun having a non-uniform rate of motion, it's perfectly fine.
Oh, on the sun having a non-uniform motion.
All those things, the sun having a non-uniform rate of motion.
Right. So because the sun has a known uniform motion, isn't that what I said, Eddie? Wake up, dude. You are just rambling nonsense.
It's perfectly fine.
It's perfectly fine now, but I thought you said that I said that and it was wrong.
This cannot happen on a bollard.
Oh, on a bollard
right?
it can't be uniform?
So right there you see that Jaron gets contradicted, you know.
Oh, I'm contradicted, guys. I'm contradicted because Banjo said so.
Right there. So hello
right there.
everyone. Let's talk. Let's just say hello here for all the people who are in the chat.
Let's not.
I got a few topics to cover today. So Sealed, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. Lulu, 16 emergency landings. Aranata, outside.
By the way, if I haven't told you guys, all 16 emergency landings are incorrect in that book. They're all done with they're all done with a 2D globe depiction, and that's a straw man, truly a straw man, truly a straw man. Let me show you this real quick, and we'll be done with this guy.
What's the name? TFE. You know, the final experiment is dead, completely dead.
All right, the final experiment's dead. My trip was dead. Makes sense. Makes sense. Why is it dead,
Find
though,
the right
Banjo?
program. I'm
listen to this.
using the Japanese keyboard computer for now.
Keyboard computer.
So let me thank guys. One of my friends, subscribers, he took the time to, you know, he was really nice. He sent me a computer from the US with an American keyboard. I'm still learning because this is Windows 11. All my computers are really old. My computer is 23 years old.
23 years old is this computer. 23 years old.
So I got hold of this Japanese keyboard
I don't know if I believe
computer,
that.
which is really...
Let's look at a couple super chats. I just see those over there. I want to make sure we get those. Oh, I didn't put them on the screen, but that's all right. Who do we got? We got fan funding. There we go. We've got, thank you very much. First, we got Dave's Waffle House. Dave, thank you very much for the $2. He said, top man and legend. And we've got the NBA Jam guy, always ready for you. He's a little bit slow sometimes, but we do have, I thought, the Waffle House somewhere. There it is.
From the Waffle House, located just off the Beltway.
There you go. Thank you very much for that. And we've got Addicted to Globing, who did win something. We don't know what yet. He says, you were one, a flat earther. I'm sorry. You were one, a flat earther. What is the mysterious force that lets the sun do whatever it wants, slow down, accelerate, move between the tropics, etc.? Well, it's called dark reversal. And, you know, that's what we call it. And just, it doesn't really, we've never seen it before. We've never observed it. But it's obviously its results can be seen because the sun's upside down and backwards. So dark reversal happens, and top physicists are looking into it right now. So that's that. Thank you very much for those super chats. Do appreciate that. I do want to fix we're going to fix the Waffle House real quick because I don't want to hear it ever do that blink again.
From the Waffle House, located just off the Beltway.
Gonna fix that real quick, and we'll try it one time. Right there we go. We fixed it. Validate. Press it again. Never again.
From the Waffle
there
House,
we go.
located just off the Beltway.
Thank you very much. And what do you have to say about St. Pierre?
Big shocker! Shane St. Pierre is sitting out tonight's game.
Oh, imagine that. He's not even going to play tonight. Sounds about right. Him sounds about like him. What about Weiss's app? What do you
David Weiss, pushing that app harder than his critical thinking.
Yes, that's very true. That is very true. All right, let's get back to Banjo. Anyway, you can watch this if you want. It's always him for the last years. And then he's got this song, and let me just show you real quick how dumb these guys are. This is what they want to slag off us, and then I'll show you what that actually means.
Jaren versus Witzit's a stage debate with
right now
with
it's
one of its.
Did you guys hear that? That me and Witzit's debate was staged. It was a staged debate. We've talked before, and we said this is what I'll say, and it's just so ridiculous.
Being turning flat Earth is against flat Earth itself. Yeah, makes sense. You know, It's all staged. It's all, you know. I mean,
again, remember, this is a Christian, and all the things I read about believing in nonsense, keeping up controversy, you know, believing people with slanderous tongues.
I would recommend. I don't know. As I said, I cannot tell people what to do, but don't waste time debating the debate, playing the debate, playing parts. Don't waste time. That's what they want. You know, they make this so we can distribute and talk about. No, I'm not gonna watch a single minute from that stuff because it's
Sure you won't.
it's more TFE reinforcement. All
Sure
they're
you won't.
doing is
From
reinforcing.
downtown. Nope, just
you know,
more dumb
TFE.
fuckery.
Hello, Elaine. How are you? You're welcome. You're not late. We still got, 40 minutes or so ahead. All right, guys. I'm gonna play the first song of the day.
Oh, the first song of the day.
And let me choose a song here.
For fuck's sake, you're dumber than shit.
Should I play the trailer? Play this one. Let's listen to this Home Depot.
Please, guys, you have to make a song, and I'll explain to you how this works. We're not listening to the whole song, though, but trust me.
I step up in this game like I'm hammering nails. Burst a flat plane, listen up, I'll tell you tales. Home Depot vibes on my tools, no fails. Level up my...
So this is the kind of time these guys have to make Home Depot. They laugh at the Home Depot Earth, even though what I've said is 100% correct and can be shown to be so. So we'll go there and show you one more time for those who haven't seen it. And this is how smart the Flat Earth group is currently, that if they can't grasp this, then they just... this is why they can't get the shape of the Earth right. Let me see. We're going to go open. And we've got the Home Depot Earth coming up for you right there. All right. Let me re-square this screen up. Give you a little better look at it. All right. Good enough there. Okay. This is why they call me Home Depot Earth, and they want to make songs about Home Depot Earth, because they don't understand. Like I've said a million times, this is a sphere Earth. You can see here, we're going to back out and show you that it is sized correctly, scaled correctly. There's the curvature. You see the sphere? There you go. So we can zoom in real quickly to the top just to see why is it that we see everything as flat? Why do we measure everything as flat? How is that possible? Well, if you look, we're already here zooming in. Here's the Burj Khalifa. Here's the pyramid. Here's the Eiffel Tower. And we're going to keep zooming in. Here's the Golden Gate Bridge. Going to keep zooming in, keep zooming in, keep zooming in, keep zooming in. There's the Home Depot. Okay, so why do these guys not get it? Is because, as I've said many times, if you put a level inside of a Home Depot, it's going to say level because you're leveling the Home Depot where you're at, and it's going to be leveled. That's how the Earth works. Now, if you move to the next Home Depot and you're going to build another one next to it, do you look back at the first one to say, hey, I wonder if I'm level with the first one? No. You use a level again and you build a Home Depot. What if you did a third Home Depot? You again would level the Home Depot where you're at. That's how you build things. Everything stays level because you're building it level. Okay, so that's what they can't get over. They cannot get that past. They're like, Jaron says if the whole Earth was a Home Depot, that everywhere would be measured flat. Correct. Imagine that. If the world was nothing but Home Depots next to each other, wall to wall, all the way around the Earth, every single place in the Home Depot, you'd put a level down and it would be level. But the Earth is a sphere. So people might ask, well, what does that mean? How could you have a bunch of flats equal a sphere? Well, because even just the building of the Home Depot itself would adjust to that slight curvature. How slight? Well, I've told you before. For every 660 feet, which is right here, 2 football fields, there's 1/8 inch of curve. Again, everybody at home, put your fingers out as an inch. Now move them to 1/8 inch, which is about the height of a nickel laying down. That's how much curvature on the Earth there is for every 660 feet. Now ask yourself, do we have anything that's 660 feet in the world? One rigid piece of something that's 660 feet? The answer is no, we do not. If you're building a bridge, if you're building anything, a road, every piece is smaller than 660 feet. So if you level everything where you're at, then the curvature of the Earth doesn't need to be taken into account because it never curves at a perceptible amount. It's only 1/8 inch every 660 feet. Imagine if you had a 660 feet piece of iron and it's just a huge piece of iron and we're about to lay it on the Earth. It would itself bend to the curvature of the Earth. It only needs to be curved 1/8 inch in that 660 feet. So this is what people fail to realize. They don't understand scale. And the reason why, again, I've said this a million times, when we think of balls, we think of something small. Basketball, bowling ball, baseball, a beach ball, a yoga ball. They're all smaller than us, and we picture them having lots of curve, and it'd be very easy to see the curve. We can't even fathom the Earth ball. It is huge. It is huge. It is enormous, and it is so big that the curvature is imperceptible to us. Okay? Imperceptible to us. Now, over long distances, sure, it would be a little bit more noticeable. But again, then we get into the question of, are we seeing far enough? Do we see too far? And again, that's the answer that people can't get through their heads either, is that yes, we do see too far. Get over it. It's because we live in an atmosphere, not in geometry. If we lived in geometrical paperland, then you would always see exactly as far as the geometry allows. But since we live in an atmosphere that works as a lens, we actually see further than the geometry says, and not much further. Again, it's not that much. And Dave Weiss is busy. I saw him on Flat Earth Social last night, and he is still continuing to push this idea that the reason I see the rocket a minute after it takes off is because it's behind a cloud deck that's 10,000 feet high. He keeps forgetting that it completely destroys all of Canigou. So nobody can use Canigou anymore because Canigou is a 9,000 foot tall mountain, but we see it from 175 miles. But Dave Weiss says that it hides behind clouds that are as big as the horizon. It's just so dumb. The guy needs help. He needs to stop blocking people and listen to opponents, not just live in his own echo chamber of dum-dum, which is what he does. Should we, you have something to say about the app, I thought?
Buy David Weiss's app.
Thank you.
From the App Store today. The Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac, but falls apart in the South Clock app. Just $3. You don't just lose your grip on reality, you lose your privacy too.
What a good ad for that. It's great. Get the Flat Earth app today if you know what's good for you. All right. Let's see. This is the not the Burj Khalifa, the Marianas Trench. This is Everest, which is 11. By the way, if we wanted to count them, we could grab 11 Burj Khalifas and add those up. They would add up there. This is where planes fly. Again, why do planes not nose down? Well, because they have to maintain altitude. If a plane noses down, it will what? Lose altitude. Correct. So do planes nose down on the ball Earth? No. They stay the same distance above the plane below them, and that if it curves at 660 or 1/8 inch every 660 feet, a plane can easily do that. You wouldn't notice it. The pilot wouldn't notice it. Nobody would notice it. It's so imperceptible. Unless you have liars tell you like, oh, well, a plane would need to nose down. They need to drop 2,000 miles every 500, whatever some nonsense number they give, but they're not thinking the plane adjusts constantly, just as we're on the ground doing the Home Depots, right? So there isn't any huge curve that we need to worry about because we are constantly moving and resetting our location. Pretty simple to figure out. Pretty simple to figure out, but again, these guys don't want to. If you don't want to figure it out, then that's where you'll end up. So anyway, that's the long story short. Banjo, by far, you are this week's Dirtball of the week. All right, welcome back. We do have tons of fun stuff to get into today, but let me talk about why this show is named The Symmetrical Sphere and what it's about, and we will talk about that here shortly. See everybody in the chat. I found satellite weather pictures from a second launch. You observe finding absolutely no 10,000 foot clouds. Imagine that. English is my liddy. But again, just like the sun can do whatever it wants, clouds can do whatever you need them to do on flat Earth. If you need them to block the rocket launch, which is why, and again, I saw it a minute after, but if somebody was further than me, they would have seen it a minute and 15 seconds after. And if somebody was closer than me, they would have seen it 45 seconds after it launched. So it's one of those things where, you know, it depends if you really want to know the truth or you want to just go around believing the Earth is flat. You can do either. One of them is actual and one of them is pretend. So don't do the pretend one if you don't need to. Exposing Mod's tricks. So simply it'll take you 10 years. Yeah, exposing Mod's tricks. Wake up. That doesn't have anything to do with now. Okay? The reason it took me 10 years is because I was under the impression that the South was a lie. And I based everything off of that. Was it a mistake? Yes. Did we have sufficient evidence to say that it wasn't a lie? I don't know. It's hard to find 24-hour time lapses of the sun down there. It was hard to find any solid information from down there. The cruises don't go deep enough to see the 24-hour sun. So there was a lot of questions about the South. We thought that it expanded, not reduced or become, what do you call it, converged back to the South Pole. But I went down there and I proved all the things that we thought were lies are in fact not lies. They are what we're taught. They are the opposite of the norm. Okay. So the reason we called this symmetrical, or because, let me bring up the PD here. This one, leave. So we're looking at this here. As I've shown many times, this is the ball Earth model that is perfect. You know, anybody wants to tell you that the model doesn't work, they don't have a model, they don't have a map, they're lying to you. This is what you should get used to because it's something that Flat Earth has to do in order to convince you and keep you on believing in it. If they told you the truth, then you would no longer believe in it. For instance, again, how many times do I have to tell you? Well, I'll bring this up first. Let's start here and just say real quick that, because I think this thing is amazing. Can you see that? I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Bring this down. There you go. Now you can see it. All right. So we're looking at the globe Earth here. And I've told you about the left-right sunset. By the way, this has convinced several people. This alone, talked to somebody on Facebook last night that eventually said, all right, you know what? I think the Earth is a sphere. I said, okay, thank you for listening. Let me show you why. If you are, we'll kind of turn the globe this way. Okay. If you're on the equator here and you're watching the sun, you're going to see that the sun comes straight down. Did you see that? Here it comes. Let's go back. Oh, wait. Can you see that? Yeah. So watch the sun come straight down. Okay, so if you ever see the sun come straight down when it's setting or go straight up when it's rising, know that you are near the equator. Now, if we take this person and we say, let's go down here to the south, or is this north? This is Tropic Capricorn, so we're in the south. Go down here, look up, and we're going to watch that same sunset and see what it does. Okay, look at the sun here. Which way is that sun going? Is that going straight down? Well, it looks like it's going right to left. Now, all these guys that cannot figure this out, listen carefully. To the flatzoid, to the banjos, to the SOV, to all the retards out there, listen carefully. I'm talking about looking west and the sun going diagonally right to left. So when you guys answer it by saying, oh, if I look north, then it does change. And if I look south, I'm not saying that. Look west. The sun is setting. When you look west, watch it again. What is the sun doing? Is it moving right to left? It is moving right to left. Now, that same sunset, look at, we're leaving it in the sky. We're moving past the equator. Now we're in the north. The same exact day, the same exact sunset. What's going to happen? We move the sun and it moves left to right. Diagonally, left to right. That alone is the end of the flat earth. Good night, Irene. It's over. Exposing Ma's tricks. You are not a smart individual if you can watch this and you don't understand what it means. It means you could drop me anywhere on the earth tomorrow, and by sunset, I will tell you where I'm at. Based on the angle, you could know what your latitude is. These are things that we weren't taught in school. These are things that they skipped over. These are things that globe earthers can't even tell us for whatever reason. They never told me this. Now, if we turn around, let's turn around and look east. I'm sorry, look, east for the rise. Here we go. Turning around to watch the rise the next day. There we are, looking east. Which way will the sun go? Remember, you're in the north. If you're in the north, the sun moves diagonally left to right when you're looking east. Don't listen to Flatzoid. Don't listen to SOV. They'll come on and say, oh, but we could look south and we see it moving left to right. But if we look north, we see it moving right to left. I'm not saying that. You're looking east. Which way does the sun go? The same way it always does, which is going to be, oops, sorry, we got it. There we go. And it's going to be moving left to right. There it was rising, left to right. See that? Okay, so imagine if we now go down to the same sunrise, but we're going to go to the south. Here we go past the equator. We're in the south. There we are. Now when this sun rises, which way is it going to go? It goes right to left, diagonally. If you can't figure this out, it's tough for me to explain to you any more clear than that. Imagine how that's a paradox on a flat earth. Let me bring up a flat earth map real quick for you just because it's a paradox and I want to show you. Can you see that? Good enough. That. Okay, so this is the way that, and by the way, to all those who still haven't figured this out yet, this is the way the earth must be laid out. We know the order of the continents. We know where the sun is. We know where the sun is at all times every day, even though Banjo will tell you we don't, and it's a fake sun, and it doesn't go around 24 hours. Sometimes it goes in 36, which is just ridiculous. So if the sun is going one direction, which is what is true on a flat earth, you don't have two suns, you have one. Okay, here's the sun. It's going along here, okay, and it's going clockwise, and here it goes from this location, okay, and it's going off. So if you're looking at the sun rise, okay, here's it going like this, right? So this person's looking at the sunrise, and we'll put a, let's go, we go white. Okay, so if you're looking at the sunrise, this person is looking east. I'm going to do it on two different screens here. You get it? So this person's looking east, okay, and if this person's in the north, they're also looking east. So when the sun comes around, which way is it moving for both them? Clearly left to right. Remember, you have to turn this around. If you want me to flip the screen, I can. Image, rotate left, image, rotate left. It's a little easier to see. As the sun comes around, it's moving left to right for both the person in the north and the person in the south. There is zero reason for the sun to rise this way. The sun rises for people in the south every single day, right to left diagonally. Okay? There is one shape in the entire world, one shape that answers that question. So let's kind of talk about that real quick. Let me make this loud and clear for those people in the back of the echo chamber. All the shit that you can't explain, all the things that we couldn't explain as flat earthers, every awkward, embarrassingly logic mangling thing that flat earthers have to twist into some fourth dimensional horseshit. There's one word that makes it all make sense. That word is sphere. One word. Why does the fucking sun set right to left in the south and set left to right in the north? Sphere. But why does it rise left to right in the north and set right to left in the south? Sphere. Well, why does it rise for everybody in the east and set for everybody in the west? Sphere. Well, why does Polaris vanish in the south then when you get past the equator? Sphere. Well, how come the pole stars spin in opposite directions? Sphere. Well, how come the moon was upside down when you saw it and the sun was upside down? Sphere. How come the sun went backwards and the moon went backwards? Sphere. Do you understand? Why are there two celestial poles 180 degrees apart in the sky? Sphere. It's not a magnificent fantasy ride courtesy of Banjo. It is because the Earth is a sphere. Now, I get you. You might look at this and say, this is really weird. Jaron for 10 years preached the opposite. I did. And I didn't see these things, and nobody taught me these things, and nobody showed me these things. But once you see them, you're like, oh. And once you see them for yourself, again, we were down in Punta Arenas watching the sun drastically set right to left where it went over Australia's head. For the 700th time, we are going to do this, and let's go back to there. Okay, so imagine, make sure you're on the screen. Yes. Again, we are here, Austin and I, Lisbeth, here in Punta Arenas, and the sun is going above our heads, and now it needs to go off this way because guess where it needs to go? It needs to go to Australia. It needs to bring them sun. And we saw it set like this. How is it getting to Australia over there? It's going right to left. We're looking west, and we see it set this way. Okay? 4 hours later, it rose here. And it went like this. And it does that every single day. Now, again, here's the crazy thing. It does that for here. It does it 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 everywhere on the outskirts of the map. How could that be possible? Exposing Ma's tricks. Wake up and give up on your fantasy land. And let's be realists and let's just say, okay, we were wrong, and let's move forward with real conspiracies, real things that they're lying to us about. Amen. We were wrong about this one, okay? We chalk it up to not knowing. And here's the thing. Everybody, we needed to know what happened in the South. Well, we went and we found out. If your goal was like mine, to find the shape of the Earth, guess what? We found it. We found it. We're good. We get it now. We weren't lied to about that. What about space travel? Is the moon landing a lie? Is space travel a lie? Is there a remote control car on Mars? Are the planets as big and as far as they say? Let's move on now. Because the Earth itself is a sphere. End of story. You can latch on to Witzit's fallacies if you think that that's going to get you a flat Earth. It never will. Because you'll never have a different map than the one on the screen right now. That's it. There can never be another map because if you tried, it would be this map. Imagine we erase this. We erase it. We're starting all over. Well, you have to have the Tropic of Capricorn. You have to have the Tropic of Cancer. You have to have the equator. And then you have to lay out the continents, and we know where they lay out because they're underneath those tropics. People live there, would look up and be able to see the sun. So once you have this again, guess what it is? It's an AE map. And so once you've debunked this map, flat Earth is done. There'll never be another flat Earth map. There'll never be another explanation. There'll never be... All it is a bunch of angry kids who are going to yell and scream and call me names and call me a liar, and who have no answers for you. If you want to support that, you can, but they won't ever have an answer for you. I'm telling you that. And people ask me, what are you saying? You're 100% sure now? Well, I'd like to leave a percent of it open in case of something. So I'd say 99%, but it's as close to 100 as you can get because I've seen it. I've seen it. Like I said, the sun did this, and then it was over Australia's head when the sun was here. So we're here at Union Glacier looking south at midnight. We see the sun, and we're like, well, let's call somebody, see where it is. And they're like, oh, it's above our heads here in Australia. Well, it's above your head in Australia, but I'm seeing it to my south on the other side of the world, 30,000 miles on the other side. How's that possible? Well, if you picture Australia is actually on the other side of the ball, so is Africa. Then you see the sun sets this way, goes around, shines on Australia, shines on Africa, comes back up to shine on South America. And that's it. That's the end of the story, is that it's not a flat Earth. It is a ball with something on the other side. It's the only thing that explains seeing. And again, if you want to see it from here, we're going to go down here now to the Tropic of, we're going to go down here to Antarctica. What's that? Oops, we're going the wrong way. Let's go here, and let's go a little further, just so you can see as we swing around here and look south. Let's keep going until we find South America. Where are we here? This is Australia. Keep going. Sorry, I want to get to South America just so you can see what we saw. Sorry, I'm flying on the globe. Here we go, and we're almost there, and we're there. Okay, so we were here. Let's go down, 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 down. Okay, so here's Punta Arenas around here. And you'll recognize this very much if you've watched all our videos. We're going to look to the west. We are going to go to December. Somebody, if you don't have Google Earth, you really need to get it. It's Google Earth Pro. It's free. But when you play with this time thing, you'll actually see how the sun and everything operates. It becomes quite clear. Now you see the sun getting close to us because it's December. Okay, so we are at December 14th. We're around there. Now look at when the sun sets. Here comes the sun. It's going to set. Well, that's bright. Now here comes the set. Look how drastically that's going right to left. Remember, it needs to go to the right. Australia is over there, to the right. But this is going to the left. So when you see that, and then you spin around, and you say, what are we looking at here? Witsit, what are we looking at here, Lisbeth? We turn around, we watch the sunset. It goes there. We saw this light. We're like, what is the light over there? It's looking south. We saw the light. And you just needed to turn a little bit more. And here comes the sunrise. Sorry, this one. So you see the light coming by. Come on. And then it rises right there south of east. Look at it moving right to left. This does not work on any flat map. You're in the south and the sun is coming from your right. It's coming from your south, moving left. See the diagonal, right to left. Okay, so that just tells you. Now, I want to talk to you about symmetry still, because I think this is one thing that is the absolute evidence of where we live. But again, we could go back and ask again, why do we have 2 seasons, or why do we have 4 seasons? And it would be the sphere, the tilted sphere, if you will. Well, why does day and night happen on different times for different people? Well, it's because it's a sphere. So you can see that the sphere, that one word, answers all questions. And if you're talking about Occam's razor, it's usually when 2 things are presented, the one with the least amount of assumptions. So think of the flat earth assumptions we must make, that we don't know what's underneath it. We're kind of confused about, well, where does it end? Is there an edge? Does the dome start there? Does it not? Is there a dome above us? Is there not? Is it refraction? Is it reflection? Is it a 2-sided mirror? Is it a superfluid ceiling? These are all things that have been proposed by flat earthers. Personal atmospheric dome, all those things, when we could just say sphere. That's it. Okay? Sphere is the only answer you need. It answers all questions. So we can stop arguing. We can stop. And the entire flat earth is one big appeal or fallacy of personal incredulity, right? And I would admit that for myself. I thought that the sphere wasn't possible because I said, I don't feel like I'm spinning on a ball in space. That sounds ridiculous, sounds ludicrous. But that is sometimes not enough to make a truth decision, okay? A lot of things feel ridiculous in the world. Doesn't it feel ridiculous that there's bugs in your stomach? Doesn't it feel ridiculous that there's bugs in your mouth? There is. They can show you on a microscope. They'll take your spittle and show you that there's little moving creatures inside your spit right now. Does that seem like our senses tell us that? No. So not everything in the world is exactly as the way our senses tell us, okay? But let me get back over here and just show you. So this is what I mean by symmetrical, is that since we were here on December, you see up here, December 17th, here's the crazy thing about the Earth, is that every single place on the Earth has an opposite. This would not be possible on any flat map. Okay, what I mean is if you take the location that you're at, so we're at 53 degrees south, and you go 6 months later and to the opposite. So now we're going to go to 53 degrees north by typing in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Okay, here we go. Now we are at 53 degrees north. Okay, now if we just change the time, so instead of being December, we're going to go to June 17th. Oops, this way. We're going to go to June 17th. There we go, September, August, July, June. June 17th. Okay, so now we're at June 17th. Now, here's the crazy thing about the Earth, is that we will see the upside down exact same thing as we saw in the sky in the south. So how could we have upside down views of everything that we see? Now, you'll see here now, oops, let me go and turn this way. And watch, this is exactly the same. There's the severe, but now it's left to right. And then look at, we see the light. And as we turn around slowly, we see it go past the north. Does this look familiar? And then it rises just a few hours left, exactly, or a few hours later, exactly where you would expect it, north of east. There it is, rising left to right. So do you realize that what we just looked at is a flipped view of the sun, but identical, but 180 degrees different than it was in December at 53 degrees south. So here's the thing that people don't realize. Every single place on Earth has an opposite. If you live at 37 degrees south, guess what? There's a 37 degrees north. If you live at 53 degrees north, there's a 53 degrees south. If you live at 30 degrees south, there's a 30 degrees north. So everywhere is a complete upside down view. You can go and verify that. Go 2 places, wherever you're at. Let's say you're in California where I am at 37 degrees. So we're going to go to, let's go to my hometown here, Gilas. Let's go to Gilroy, California. We're at 37 degrees thereabouts. Okay, so there we are, 37, Gilroy, California. The former garlic capital of the world, but now they had a shooting there, and then they didn't do the garlic festival anymore. But anyway, so if we look at the 30, now let's go, we're at June. So if we look over here to the west, and we say what's happening here at sunset on June 17th, and well, it's going to be to the north. Let me go this way. Again, you have to turn a little bit north because it is the, okay, we're looking, there's the sunset, right? So now this sometimes will work, sometimes it won't. Let me get down here to where I'm at. We're at Gilroy. I want to make sure we're at 37 degrees. Where was that? Close enough. That'll be work. Close enough. Okay, so I'm just going to draw here. We're going to wait till the sun is exactly half occulted, maybe there-ish, there. I'm just going to draw one line from where I'm at. Come on, go. To the sun right there, okay? And you'll notice that it says here that we are, move. We are heading 301. Okay, so we're 301, which is kind of an easy number because we know it's 60 degrees less than the north. Okay, so this is what a predictive model is. I now know that if I go 6 months prior to this, so we're going to go to now 12/18. Okay, we're going to go to December 18th. We're going to go to the exact opposite place, which is going to be negative 37 south. And I can tell you that the sun, when it sets, will be 60 degrees off of 180. Do you see what I'm doing? I just took the predictive nature. I said at 360, it's 60 degrees less. So 6 months later, when I'm in the south, it'll be 60 degrees less than 180. Am I getting that right, or is it 60 degrees more? So if we're looking south and we're looking at the sun set, it's going to be more. So it's going to be 180. It's going to be at 240. So this is what a predictive model does. Let me show you. So we're going to go clear this. We need to go to 37 degrees south. I don't know what that even is. We'll have to go find somewhere. Can't name a place. Let's get out of here. Check out 37 south. And let's go down here. Let's go towards Australia. Okay, so here we are in Australia, and they've got a, which way am I looking here? Looking north, 35, 37. Okay, so here's 37. You see south 37. We're going to drop down there. We're going to turn around to watch the sun in the west. We know it'll be a little bit south of west because we are going to go to December. There's July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, we're going December 17th or thereabouts. Okay, we're there. Now we're going to look at the sun doing its setting. Okay, so there you see the sunset. Boom. So again, we're going to get down here at 37 degrees. And we're going to draw a line to that sun, right when it's stopped moving, right when it's half occulted, which is about, I don't know, there-ish, maybe a little, there-ish. Okay, let's draw a line. Now again, this might not be perfect, but it's because I kind of did it rudimentary. But let's see. Go over there. We're going to draw a line from where we're at, straight at the sun line there. And the degrees is 240, 238.74. So I was off by 1 degree. That cannot be done on a flat Earth. What I just did, I was able to predict exactly the angle of the sunset by knowing the north. I was able to predict for you what would happen in the south. That's because of symmetry. That's because the north is the opposite of the south. There is no way that works on a flat Earth. Exposing Ma's tricks. Wake up. Wake up. Dick Wayne, wake up. Wake up. Okay. Joshua McTaggart says, Jaron, I spent 20 years of my life in the Coast Guard watching ships go over the horizon. Got some good info for you. All right, reach out on Telegram if you could. If you would be so kind. DP Debunks in the house. What up? What does it say? Post real video of the English curve of your sunset and map it. What are you talking about? Go to YouTube. There's people post sunrise, sunset from everywhere. Okay. It's very simple. It's that you guys don't want to know the truth. And that's what's been the most shocking to me is I thought that we were all on the same trip. And yes, we all thought different things about the Earth, but when we realized we were wrong, then it's just time to be big boys. It's time to say we were wrong and move on. And guess what? If you still have an inkling that, I still think it's flat, that's fine. You can still think that, and you can try and put things together on the side. But what you can't do is keep coming to debates in real scientific debates and acting like you have a place in that debate, because you don't. You don't have a model. You don't have a map. You don't have a mechanism for the sun. You have no way of explaining the sun. Whitsitt described it as, well, Jaron, you're just taking one observation and saying that trumps all the rest. Well, it's the sun. It's the sun. If you can't explain the sun, you don't get to play in how the world works, because the sun is the most important thing there is, and the globe explains it perfectly. So if we're going to compete with the globe, you must be able to compete with the globe. Okay. So anyway, predictive model, upside down. We get it. But Jaron, I heard changing one's mind makes people gay. That could be true. So that's what they think, at least. Yes. And then they love to make jokes. It's their only tactic. Their only tactic is this intimidation. What do you believe? What are you, vaccinated now? That kind of thing. That's their only tool. But I get it. It's that, or admit that they were wrong. And imagine this. Everybody who's a flat earther pretty much probably told people in their family or their friends how dumb they were, how ridiculous they were, how stupid it is to believe in the globe earth, so they cannot even fathom the idea of going back and saying they were wrong. That's the problem. Even though I told people the whole time, I said, do not estrange yourself with brothers and sisters. Do not fight with people over the shape of the earth, because what happens is both people will dig their feet in. They'll call you a moron. You'll call them a retard. Now both people have dug their feet in, and neither one of them is looking at evidence anymore. They just need to be right because they called another person names. So does it suck having to say you were wrong? Yes. Does it suck? So you have to say apologize. I had to apologize to Wolfie. I had to apologize to these guys that I spent 10 years talking shit to. But at the same time, my other option was to lie to my audience, to lie to myself, to lie to my family, to lie to my son. I'm not doing that. So I hope that other people will catch on, and I think you will. It's only been 6 months. Sure. Have we only had a handful of people convert? Yes. But I would say we might even have, so let me bring on here Mr. Lockwood. Lockwood, you say hi? I want to see if everybody can hear you. Can you hear Lockwood?
Hello, Jaron. It's good to be here.
Can you guys hear that okay, or no? I could move this a little bit more, I guess. Try this here. Anyway, Lockwood's here. Lockwood, I met him at the Denver was the first time we met at the conference, and then after that it was Dallas, and we became friends and we talked occasionally. And basically after the trip he called me and said, hey, I want to come see you. I want to see what you saw. I want you to explain it to me. I want you to kind of hands-on show me. And I think pretty easily he kind of came to the conclusion, okay, we were wrong. So I don't know, what do you guys say? See if they can hear you. You say low audio, but let me see. Yeah, go ahead. Just say, I just told them, is that basically where you would get that you recognize that, okay, we got it wrong. It's still, there's other little things that we still need to research, but It's okay that we send somebody down there that you can trust. You can trust me.
Seeking the truth is hard work.
Indeed. It's not easy. I don't know if they can really hear you. It says turn them up. Yeah, you just got to get closer to the mic, or else I don't have. I do have another mic, but I didn't get it ready.
That's all right.
So I guess, and that's okay with you, right? I mean, did you tell family and friends? Are you gonna have a hard time going, or they kind of thought that you were up in the air about it anyway?
I had some discussions with family and some friends, and they thought the idea was ridiculous, and it was impossible to have a conversation with them about it because they wouldn't listen. And that's an important thing to do. And in any kind, you got to be willing to listen to the other side.
And what happens there too is that a lot of us started thinking we were right because of that, right? So if you're trying to conversate with a Glober and they're just slacking you off and basically saying that we know these things from all eternity and we've known them for 2,000 years, then you take that on as, oh man, these guys don't know, and I have the truth and they don't.
And then in addition to that, you've got the whole issues of pride and vanity that enter into the conversation. And it's just not a good deal. It's not a good deal. And like you said, it's not a salvation issue, because at the heart of it all, that's what's really important in life, salvation issues. So I made some comments or notes here while you were talking to some people.
Okay.
The so-called Christians need to carefully read the third commandment, which tells them and all of us that if you are bearing the name of Jesus Christ in vain, you're in big trouble. And someone who acts like that, I just look at them askance. And then there's an interesting Bible verse that says, people who strain at gnats and swallow camels. They'll pick out a little tiny thing to nitpick, but they will ignore some great big hypocritical thing.
Wow, that's that's great. That's exactly what's going on, and it's just one of the things that's with Banjo is that he's nitpicking every single thing we say. So if you go to each of my interviews and you nitpick everything, you'll think you found something when you didn't find anything.
Well, I would encourage you to take the words of Proverbs to heart and don't argue with fools, because all it does is pull you down. That's all it does. When you were talking about the Flat Earth and Sun app, it made me think of a fishing term called stink bait, that you're attracting bottom feeders.
Boy, am I ever.
I also think that you were in error on your quiz. I do not believe that the Earth is number 5 from the Sun. It is number 4.
No, largest.
Oh, Lord. Well, I think that's the right thing too.
Let me look that up.
Dun, dun, dun.
We've got a challenge. Size of planets. Okay, let's check here. So we got size of planets. I don't know, solar system sizes. Earth is 3959. So we got Venus is smaller, Mars is smaller, Jupiter bigger, Saturn bigger, Uranus bigger, Neptune bigger. So that is number 5. Lockwood.
Mercury, Venus, Mars, and then Earth.
No. That's in order from the sun. But I was talking about the size.
The same thing in terms of size.
No, size, it goes back. Neptune is bigger, Uranus is bigger, Saturn is way bigger, Jupiter way bigger. So, wait.
Boom! Another load of hot garbage exploded on impact.
All right. Thank you very much for that, by the way. Appreciate that. What is this one here?
Get that guy out of here. It's Nathan Thompson outside of a school again.
This is great. All right, what else you got to say? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
And then the last comment that I made was on the tangent over the sphere, and that as you move around it, that was how the ancient Greeks were trying to determine the value of pi to square the circle. They just kept adding more and more and more sides on the polygon. So,
Oh, right. Till it became like an infinite number, or
yeah, that's exactly in one way of looking at it, what a circle is. It's an infinitely sided polygon.
that's not true, Amber. My anus is very tiny. Your anus is. She said that my anus is huge or something. It's not true. The rumors aren't true. Imagine that. So I was reading some of the chat here. What else you got? Notes on anything?
Everybody has believed lies at one time or another in their lives. And when you discover that you've been believing a lie and spreading it, you got to quit. You got to stop.
Totally agree. Yeah, I think that it's a personal thing to where, and people are all asking, why haven't you just wandered away? Why don't you just left? Get out of here. It's because I feel that anybody who's in the flat earth because of me, I just want them to at least hear why I don't think that we're right, and then let them get out. You know, because if they're there on their own fruition and they're saying, yes, I know Jaren doesn't believe it anymore, but I want to stay here, then I don't feel responsible anymore. But as long as there's some people I think that might be there because of me, I feel responsible. What say you?
I agree. You've done the honest thing. You, in a manner of speaking, you confessed your error and repented, and you're now moving in the right direction. There's nothing else you can do.
Yeah, I
the
agree.
rest of it is up to God.
I agree. Do you think there's any, I don't know if you've heard this, but there's a lot of flat earthers that go around and they now make fun of the globe, right? They call people globetards, which is kind of scary because God's creation is looking like it is a sphere. So to be calling people globetard and the stupid globe and spinny water ball and it's zooming through space when it's the grand design is pretty FU to God to me. So I have to make up for that now because I was somebody who was doing that. So now I make a point to say that it's imagine how great it is that we live on a sphere that doesn't need to be taken into account as a sphere. If it was, life would be very difficult. If you had to fly airplanes and build bridges and things on a sphere, that's going to be very difficult. But we can treat the Earth as if it's not a sphere.
A little sphere would be very hard.
Yes, it would be.
A really big one.
No big deal, right? So it's like you don't even need to know that. You don't even need to take it into account. So yeah, I think that's one of the. I see a lot of people who say that, or they want to come in and say globetard, or the people will just message me on Facebook and say, I hope you get paid back for what you've done, and as a sellout, I hope you and your family, meet a quick demise. It's like, wow, this. I used to tell people that being a flat earther made you a better person.
Judge not, lest ye be judged.
Thank you for that. Yes, that is true. All right. Anybody have any questions for Lockwood? I'll be happy to ask him. Let me check the chat. Put at Jeranism, and I'll ask him. Otherwise, he's here because he wants to observe. He helped me out yesterday with the pool. Thank you very much for that. And we did some other things. We had some fun. Is somebody in studio? Yes, he's right here next to me. You just can't. Oh, there he is. Now you can see him. He's hiding out in the corner there. It's not really a two-person studio. We have never really worked that out, but he is here. Does anybody have any questions? Put at Jeranism, please, if you got a question for the guest. If not, he will go back to observing. And if anybody else wants to come out and stay for a couple days, and then you'll go home a globe believer. So doesn't that sound like fun? It's like a bed and breakfast, but it's you go in a flat earther, you come out a globe earther.
Transition.
Can you unlock real singness? If that's his, you gotta give me his URL. Otherwise, I'm not gonna find him. YouTube.com/@real CYGNUS. This will never work. It never works when people do that. Real Singus. I do see him. Let's go to more and report and unhide. Okay, he's clear. Thank you, Real Singus. He's back. All right, what do you got? Any question? We do have to see somebody. Oh, that's somebody else. Sorry. Me says, can you do a live reaction to Daniel Pratt's videos of you? What? She's done videos of me? I don't think I've seen that. I'll look at one. We've got Ed Jaren. Can I fly across the country and stick my head up in the corner too? Yes, feel free. Globe tour anytime you like. What dinners did you two previously meet at? We met at the conference in Denver, and then we met at Dallas. Those two places. Jeranism, you got to make me a mod. Yes, I do. Good call. We're going to give JSauce a mod, although I can't do it over there. I got to do it over here. Where's JSauce? There. There, you're modded up. Add moderator. Standard. Go. Okay, good. I don't think anybody's got any questions for you. You're not, you are the most popular guest I've had in studio. No. Actually, we had David Avocado Wolf one time about, 2017. That's 8 years ago. Goodness gracious.
I have a suggestion for your show.
Good. I will take suggestions.
You remember that video we watched of George Washington and the units of measure?
Yeah, I've played it before for people.
I think you should make one of those on the flat Earth, globe Earth debate.
That would be funny.
On some of the ridiculous stuff.
That's funny.
Comes out.
Dick Wayne says, ha ha ha, that is so sad. It is a special pair ball, but you can just do everything as if it was not because space pair ball science would be tough. No, it's, again, you're just wrong. You listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson, you run with it, you're like, oh, it's a pair, it's a pair, it's a pair. He means it's 1% bigger on the bottom than it is on the top. You can't see that.
Neil calls it an oblate spheroid.
It's an oblate spheroid, but again, just 1% bigger on the bottom than the top. It's not even that big of a deal, but people want to lose their minds over it because they don't understand. They can't go along with the conversation. Just like the people who heard, what's his name? Admiral Byrd, who says that there's land on the other side of the South Pole. They all have lost their minds over it when they just go listen to it. Again, let me see if we bring it up. Admiral Byrd, what was it? Long jeans or something? Long chims? Long. And again, they act like he wouldn't get in trouble for saying that if there was such thing. Wouldn't he get in trouble for revealing that? He says it, and he also believes we live on a globe. He says so.
Watch any land north of the North American continent. He made that first discovery flight. And
move this over for you.
I must say that Admiral Byrd, our guest tonight, is not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless Americans. Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this Earth?
So remember, on this Earth, you've been to the North Pole and the South Pole. So he doesn't believe that there's more land south of the South. He wouldn't. How could there be a North Pole and a South Pole? He's talking about the globe.
That might appeal to adventurous young Americans.
Now listen.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
Not up around the North Pole because it's getting crowded up there.
Right, not around the North Pole. It's crowded up there. We've already discovered everything.
And now because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being.
Okay, so an area in the south that's as big as the United States has never been seen. Remember the year that this was done. And now think about what he's talking about.
And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America.
Okay, so let's go look at the map. Where is he talking about that's somewhere as big as the United States? Let's go down on the other side. And this is, everybody from this is taken that there's other worlds, that there's missing land. I mean, you're just going way past what this person has said. So this is Little America, by the way. Let's go over here. Spin this way. Globe doesn't want to spin with me. Go this way. All right, so we're over here. This is about Middle America in this region here. Okay, so he's saying on the other side of the South Pole, here's the South Pole. Look at the other side of the South Pole. See that gigantic piece of land? I wonder if it's as big as the United States. Let's see. If we take this side to here, what do you got there? 2,300 miles. How big is the United States? About 2,500 miles. So that's weird. On the other side of the South Pole, there's land that has not been explored that's as big as the United States. Nothing about that says anything about the Earth being flat, yet everybody who's a flat earther says that that's what he's saying. It's just people not wanting to actually listen to the truth.
And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
That's a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world. Well,
There's a lot of adventure left at the bottom of the world. He believes in a globe. That's why he says the bottom of a world. He's not talking about the outskirts of a flat map where there's extra land out past Antarctica. Okay, but you've got all these flat earthers who are refusing to admit that there's even a 24-hour sun. Flatzoid, Sov, Ironworks, Vlad, Banjo, all those people are telling you that we lied and there is no 24-hour sun, rather than admit that the Earth's a globe.
Admiral, do you hope to see that?
I do.
Well, Admiral, would you say that since you've been to both the extremities of Earth, are these expeditions to such far-off places, are they getting easier because of modern techniques, or is danger still close at hand?
Well, it's a little risky, but nothing like it used to be with the old slow planes and the small cruising radius where we had to put down bases. We replaced the dog teams, and of course that was a big improvement. But now the planes go much faster and they are safer, and they have a much bigger cruising radius.
So it's easy to see that everything that flat earthers, I wish we had a time to go through every single claim that any flat earthers ever made, and we'd be able to show why it's false. The Admiral Byrd, false. Okay? There's a couple, I don't want to say every claim. There's some that I still think stand, like the undersea cables in the South. Yeah, do they also match the flat earth? Sure. But this is the problem with evidence, is that evidence doesn't always lead you to the truth. Again, you show up at a murder scene and there's 3 pairs of shoes there. Well, you're going to process them all as evidence. And then eventually one of those shoes might lead you to the killer. And so that's your evidence that led you to the truth. However, those other 2 pieces of shoes, those other 2 pairs of shoes, they're no longer evidence. They were evidence that didn't lead you to the correct answer. So the same thing is true with the undersea cables. The same thing is true with it looks flat. The same thing is true with, you name it. It's just, it's evidence, but it didn't lead us to the correct answer. The evidence that leads you to the correct answer is the evidence that's answered by the globe Earth. So it is what it is. Seeing if I see anything else here in the chat that I needed to bring up. Convenient that the last part there is never quoted by Fleur. Yeah, of course. Thank you, Jeanette. This is what, and I give a lot of credit to Austin Thompson from the Melodome, where he started to send me some stuff, and we started to look into some stuff, and we looked into every Nathan Thompson claim, and we're learning that a majority of the flat Earth stuff is lies. They're fooling you in some way. Did you know somebody, that video of the astronaut, and he's doing something in the bathroom, and then he drops a screw, and you see him kind of doing something, and then it goes dink, 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 and he kind of looks down. That's faked. It's faked by a flat earther. Okay, that you can find the real version of that, and there is no dropping of the screw. It's the sound was added, everything was added. So, what is the purpose of that? Why did we have flat earthers that were out there lying to push the flat Earth? Because it actually worked. A lot of us believed the Earth was flat because of all these things we were finding. When it turns out a lot of that was faked. So when Nathan Thompson tells you, "Hey, I can see from Tennessee, I can see Atlanta," or whatever it was, and everybody goes ooh and ah, but he forgot to tell you that he was 4,600 feet high. And when you're 4,600 feet high, you can see a lot further. So guess what? It's actually called for on the globe that you can see that. But he didn't tell anybody that. He wants to tell people instead. What's the most recent one? Oh, let me show you his most recent one. So he showed, it was on Facebook. I don't know if he'll be able to find it, but he was showing, I'll just search him real quick and see. That's not search. He showed people that he saw Lake Tahoe. He went to Lake Tahoe. Nathan Thompson is chilling outside of a school. Scary. All right, let me see here. Nathan Thompson. This guy, yes. I don't know how to find people's posts on, what is that? Oh, so there we go. 20 miles and you can see the first floor of the building. Is he talking about, what is this? The entire building should be under the curvature of the Earth. I don't know where he's talking about. Where is the... Oh, God, is that your arm? You need to get some help, my friend. Oh, God, you look sick. You look sick. Trying to see where he had it. I might not find it right away. He's... I feel like I'm looking at something I don't want to look at anymore. Jesus. Where... Banned from Tinder. Where is this at? I don't know. It's flat, folks. There's no curve over 20 miles. The horizon doesn't start at 3. He doesn't even list what he's talking about. What is this at? Where is this? I don't know if that's, I don't know where that is. He doesn't say. I want to find where he was the other day. Wait, what? Why am I back to, okay, can someone please explain what's going on here? This is his.
The final non-experiment with these goobers who are in a studio.
I mean, anybody who thinks that we were in a studio is straight up retarded. That's just the way it goes. I mean, if you can't look at the footage that we brought back, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing. So, you know.
Earth's round, bitch. Deal with it.
Let's go.
With shadows changing directions. Look at McToon's shadow. Look where it starts off from. Look where it ends up. It flips. I'm sorry, but isn't the sun meant to be 93 million miles away? Look at the shadow length getting longer as you...
Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, this is when people have never gone outside their home. Before you make a video on YouTube and make comments about some shadows and what they're doing, get out of your house with a camera and go film the world. And then you'll realize how dumb you are.
He walks away.
That's what happens. That's what happens to shadows. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dominated glyphs. Have fun explaining that one.
He's far away and now he's close.
You said that if people tried to go to Antarctica, they would get turned away at gunpoint. I proved that you lied.
He did prove that you lied. And for all the bad things that people have said about MC Toon, he was right. He was right. You were wrong. So, can anyone tell me what tower this is? I don't see even... Now I'm in 2023. I don't even know how Facebook works. Never mind. He did post about... Maybe this is it. Does that look like... No, it can't be that. I don't think. Pico, who's this, man? Was he him and Dean Odell? Wow, a bunch of losers here. Goodness. Nobody take pictures with Dean Odell. Dean Odell says it was Satan who was in the sky. But I don't see... What does this one here say? 20 miles, you can see the first floor of the building. A beautiful bride in tuxedos. Where is this? Let me see.
Now here I go again, I see.
I think this is it. I think this is it. The entire building should be under the curvature of the earth, end globe religion, even though I don't see any text about it. But let's go look at this real quick. I'm just going to show you what I think he's looking at. So we're going to go to Lake Tahoe. L-A-K-E-T-A-H-O-E. Okay, so when we go to Lake Tahoe, can you see that or not? What are you guys looking at? Yeah. Okay, so here's Lake Tahoe, and I believe you usually look south to north. Well, it depends where the... Let me get to daytime. See the light come up. Okay. I believe... Where's this... Oh, you look at South Lake Tahoe. Okay, so we go this way. So usually the observations go from over here. I think... I don't know which way they look. I don't know if it's this one this way. Well, we'll go here and just check it out. So now if we flip around... I know Toons did a good job on showing this. It's that building that he's looking at is way up high in the hills. Let's look at this way. We're going to look north to south. Can you please share your actual screen? We are staring at... No, you're not. So there we go. Move this up. Okay, let's see if we see what he's seeing over here. So I'm just kind of going across this water so you can see this building. It is, where's the resort? Okay, I believe it's right here. Oh, it is looking the other way. My bad. I think it's looking the other way. Might be the other way. Do you know which way they look? Sav is correct. What first-hand observation experience do you have that would lead you to think nature exists over the exterior of a pear-shaped mass of stuff? I already told you, Dick Wayne, wake up. How can you be that dumb? Did you just listen to me name all the reasons that we know the Earth's a sphere, and then you're like, Sav is correct. Sav is not correct. He's a retard. He's a old, senile old man who keeps saying there is no 24-hour sun. I've seen it. I saw it for 4 days. Go around my head. He's a retard. Just because he doesn't think that there's one doesn't mean shit to me. He's wrong. Let me go over here. I just don't know if they're looking north or south. All these trees look weird. Anyway, there's Lake Tahoe is over here. Does anybody know where the Lake Tahoe resort is? Is it in the north side or the south side? I don't know where it is. I don't see it sticking out. Anyway, it's about 500 feet up. Thank you very much. He says, Sav is correct is the funniest thing I've heard this whole stream. I agree. This is the funniest thing I've ever heard. If you're saying Sav is correct, you're literally losing the debate, bro. You cannot be saying that. Did you guys hear him yesterday? We can actually play a little bit of him yesterday. He at one point, I mean, he's just him and Flatzoid are two of the dumber people ever. They don't know anything about the Earth. They don't know anything about miles. They didn't know that the globe Earth is different than the flat Earth when you're talking about the equator. They're like, no, it's the same. No, it's not. The North Pole and the equator are 6250 miles away from each other. That is 2 pi r, so 6.28 times 6250 comes out to like 34,000 or something miles. So that's a lot more than 24,901, which is the globe circumference. 4 straight days of daylight just made you hallucinate 4 straight days of daylight. Flawless logic. What? No, 4 straight days of the sun going around my head. What are you not paying attention to? It's not daylight. It's the sun. The big sun. Have you ever been outside and seen the sun? You should try it. Sov, the same Sov that said kilometers were the same as miles. Yeah, he was so, I mean, the guy's got to be just losing every brain cell. I want to go to Lake Tahoe. Looks nice. Yeah, I just don't remember. I'll have to ask Toon exactly what. But what's basically happening is that there's a resort that's way up on the hill, and you've got Nathan Thompson telling everybody, look, I see the resort, but it's he's not telling you that it's 400 feet off the water. Okay. Dick Wayne, do you know what firsthand means? The emotional meltdown suggests no. I was there. What are you talking about? You cannot be this dumb. I've seen the sun go around my head. I've seen the sun set right to left. Do you understand that firsthand means I saw it? Because you say you witnessed the sun circle above your head for 4 days, heliocentric model confirmed? No. Flat Earth model debunked. Let me explain this again because you guys aren't sharp enough to get this. It's called modus tollens. You guys use it for the flat Earth, for the black swan, but you use it incorrectly because you include a straw man on there. Okay, the black swan is, if the Earth is a sphere with 3959 as its radius, then the distance to the horizon can be no more than 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. We went and checked. The horizon is higher than that or further than that, and therefore the Earth is not a sphere. That's what Flat Earth has been saying for years. The problem with that is, of course, that the globe Earth believes in refraction. They've shown it. They say that in certain conditions that the horizon will rise up and you'll see further than the geometric horizon. You'll see actually behind it will be lifted up. That's what their claim is. Okay. And when Austin Thompson took a globe and put a lens between it and its camera, we could see things that were behind the edge of the globe. We could see further than the geometric position on the globe. Okay. Now we're going to word it the exact same way, modus tollens, but this is the one that's real because we're not including a straw man. Ready? Dick Wayne, pay attention. If the Earth is flat and has a sun that goes around in 24 hours, bringing light and heat to all the continents. Okay, that's fact. You can't take one of those away. What are you going to say? Oh, well, the Earth isn't flat. Okay, good. Then we solve that. Okay, it is flat, but the sun doesn't go around in 24 hours. Wrong. Provably wrong. Well, it doesn't bring heat and light to the continents. Wrong. Provably wrong. So that is a true statement. If the Earth is flat and it has the sun going around 24 hours and bringing light to all those continents, then there can at no time be someone in the south on the outskirts of that orbit that sees the sun go backwards around their heads for 24 hours. Okay? We went and checked, and guess what? There is a sun that goes backwards around your head for 4 straight days. Therefore, the Earth is not flat. That's not I see sun and sun means globe. It's called a falsification. We falsified your flat Earth. It's over. It's been falsified. If you want it not to be falsified, you have to come up with an explanation that explains why we see that. And you cannot. You never have. You never will. And we know that because it's been 150 years. Lady Blount, Samuel Rowbotham, Darren Shenton, Daniel Shenton, Leo Ferrari, you name it. All these flat Earth, Charles Johnson, every single, Eric Dubay, Dave Weiss, Austin Whitsitt, you name a flat earther, not one of them has been able to explain a 24-hour sun going backwards around your head in Antarctica. There's a reason for that, because there's no explanation on a flat map. What's that one word that solves that problem? One word that makes that all finally work and jive, and that word is sphere. Put the Earth on a sphere, and guess what? It matches all the observations. Why does the sun go backwards? You're upside down. Why does the moon go backwards? Upside down. Why does it appear upside down? You're upside down. Everything jives? Why do we see the sun set one way in the north and one way in the south? Sphere, right? So again, you can keep crying. Dick Wayne says, I use nature. I use my firsthand observations and experiences being a part of nature. As did I. I went and saw the sun circle my head and set right to left. What are you not getting? I don't care about observations alone. What? I sure as fuck don't care about your opinion of my observations. Good for you. That's exciting. Good chat comments there. You're really getting us to see the light now. Optics is why you see shit. I thought this was pretty obvious. It can be very subjective. I want objective facts. I want demonstrated physics. I just told you that. Optics is not why you see the sun go in two different directions for two different people. What do you mean? That's because it's a feature of a sphere. If you're on a sphere, two people, one in the north, one in the south, remember, they're both looking the same way. It's a paradox on a flat earth. You're both looking the same direction. One of you sees the sun go to the right. One of you sees the sun go to the left. How is that possible? Unless, is there a shape that tells us that that's what we should see? Sphere. The sphere says, oh yeah, you'll see it go in two different directions because you're both upside down from each other. So anyway, Nathan Thompson is lurking outside of a school. And he's
We fall on the side of...
Sorry, didn't mean to do that. All right, so let me see what else we have for you. Is there any other comments that are worth looking at besides Dick Wayne's nonsense? Lightning's flat? You ever see lightning in 3D? No, it's always flat in every image ever. Is that an argument? My goodness. My goodness. I'm the Craig says, wow, do we need a Alex Stein wow? I don't know if I have it fast enough. I don't, probably. No, I don't know where that's at. Alex Stein, where is your guys' thing? There it is.
Wow.
Thanks, Alex. Let's look at super chats. We might have another one. I see something down there. Oops, that's the wrong one. Fan funding. Here we go. We've got a couple more. So we've got, where's Wally in the house? He says, oh, really? That Fallon heavy. God, I can't read that. Arviation? What is that? I don't know. Oh, really? That Fallon heavy. Oh, observation from Myrtle Beach sees the rocket at the sky ocean horizon while standing on the beach at sea level. 94 seconds, 24 kilometers of hidden curvature. Sorry, Dave. Yeah, it's a bad one. And he'll never wake up to that. He'll never admit that he's wrong. We did have somebody join the Jeranism Club. Thank you very much, Mac Gary. We've got Joshua McTaggart says, Jaron, how do I get on for a live chat like you've done before? I'm with you, man. Thursday, next Thursday, or a week from yesterday, is Speaker's Corner. We do that every first Thursday of the month, and that is at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern, and you just jump on. Usually we'll start with a quiz and then get right to your guys' calls and when they run out. And we've got Alan who says mostly harmless with his face mask on, I think. Alan, you're number one today. That's what it says. You got the number one spot. I don't know how that works yet, but it does tell me who the top 3 people are. Can I look at this? What does this say? I saw, oh no. Oh yeah, top fans. What's it? There you go. The current standings, Alan, Addicted by Globing, followed by me, Official, followed by the Obsessed Patriot, Shifty Eye Shady's in the house, Singus is in the house, Benny Boy in the house, Benny Boy Truth, I like that. DP Debunk's in 9th place. It's where he likes to hang out. He kind of hangs out there and then at the end. Exposing Maj Tricks, 13, that's unlucky. Unlucky number 13. So, here's what the moral of the story is, again, that the Earth has that symmetry that I think you should look into. Rather than be Dick Wayne, rather than be these flat earthers that are in the chat that just want to continue to yell at me, go do the search yourself. Wherever you're at, you can actually... Now, here's the thing. Many people might ask, well, can we really take Google Earth and believe that? So Google Earth has never been debunked. Not one time. So the answer is yes. If you want to defeat the globe Earth, let me tell you step 1. Step 1 is find a place on Google Earth that is wrong. Because the Earth is mapped on this sphere. If you guys don't know, here's a sphere Earth. Did you know that everywhere, every person you know is mapped somewhere on this sphere? There's nobody you could call who would say, oh, I don't, actually, my place is not mapped on here. So you'll be able to call Banjo in Japan and say, Banjo, can you check, you're in Japan, right? Can you check and see if the sunrise and sunset match the globe Earth model? You know, on this and such date, and he can come here and he can check and say, oh yeah, it does match perfectly. And why does it match perfectly? Because everywhere does. How could it not? It's the sphere Earth model. This is why the sun, because people are confused here. They think that it's, you actually see the sun. You can actually see the sun doing its orbit around the Earth if you look in the right direction. And what are we at? December. So we're going to be looking to the south. There it is. Okay. So again, I could just show you this. I didn't tell you where we're at. Where are we? If we're seeing the sun rise left to right, where are we? North or south? You're in the north. We know that right away by going left to right. Okay. So now we can actually just watch that sun as it does its orbit. We're just watching it. And you could press play like this and watch. It's going to come by every day. And you could keep watching that. And you could see that this is not a program that is like magically telling you the sunset or sunrise based off some magical formula. It's actually using the orbit of the sun around the Earth. And every time you watch it, it's going to set. Let's go down here and watch it set. Here it comes. It's going to set. And you can go and verify wherever you're at that that is what's happening. Do you understand that? Because once you do, then you don't need authority. You don't need NASA. You don't need professors. You don't need a teacher. You don't need a pastor. You don't need a science educator. You need your eyes. Wouldn't God have given you the ability to know the shape of the Earth with just your eyes and something, the most amazing thing that he gave us, which is the sun? Again, I bring up the allegory. It is God gave us his one and only son to be a guiding light.
Amen.
The sun is a guiding light for you. And if you follow it and you look at it and you observe it and you take notes, like the ancients did. If you wonder why the ancients were so adept at this stuff, it's because they didn't have all the nonsense going on in their heads. They didn't have people lying to them as much. They were able to observe the sky and make a determination of what was going on. Okay, because if you observe the sky every day, so you'll notice here, this is where the sun is setting. I'm going to spin this way a little bit so we can see. So notice the sun is setting here on, what is this, Tropic of Cancer? Where are we? So we're up north. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that as we press play here and we go through, let me go one back. Actually, I'm going to go all the way back here. You can, now you'll notice that, see how the sun is moving? We can actually fast forward. Look how it's moving. See it going towards the north? Okay, look at the date. We're in June. Now watch. We're in, now we're in, I shouldn't go backwards. I should go forward. Sorry, I want to go forward so you don't get confused. This is backwards. Okay, now we're in January. Now we're going to go this way. Now watch. So now it's heading north as we get close to May, June, July. Now it's its furthest north. Now it's going to come back. August. Here comes September. There it is. October. There it's going left. November. All the way to the south in December. It is all explained on a sphere. None of this is explained on a flat Earth. It's that simple. So the symmetry is something you can go check yourself. Because wherever you're at in the north, go watch the sunset tonight. Let's go over to, we'll go to Colorado. Colorado. Just picking a random place. We're going to Colorado. We will, today is the June 27. Okay, so here's Colorado. And if we are on June 27th, then we go and we look to the west to see the sunset. Again, you're looking west, so which way does the sun set? Anybody know? Left to right or right? It should be very simple. We're in the north, so it's going to set left to right. Here it comes. Left to right. Okay, so once you see that, then you can ask yourself, well, okay, I see with the angle that I'm looking at the sunset. Remember how we drew a line to it? I know my direction. So then if you go, we go down here. We want to see what line we're on. So we're at 28 degrees north. Is that right? I don't know where we ended up here. Wait, where are we? What the hell's going on here? We did not go to Colorado. We went somewhere else. Colorado. Took me somewhere totally different. Wait. I was going to say it shouldn't be. Oh, there we go. It's more like it. Okay, so we're at, let's say we're at 39 degrees here. Let's now actually take a real look at the sunsets, and we're looking in the wrong spot. There we go. All right, so now we're looking. Here's your sunset, and it sets there. That's December. Let's go back to where we were. So we go back to June. Right, there's June 24th. And let's go back this way. Okay, so now we watch the sunset. It's going to be in the north. There we go. So there's the sun setting left to right. And again, you can just take that and say, okay, now go to 6 months different at, we said we were at 39. So now we just want to go 39 south. Doesn't even matter the longitude line because I'll show you something that's crazy about the symmetry in a second. So we're going to 37 south, which is 17, 25, 37. Here, we'll be out in the ocean for the fun of it. Here we are on the sea, 37 south, and we look up at the sunset. We know it's going to be to the south because we're going to go to December. Not that way. There. We get to December, and we're going to notice that it does the exact opposite, going the exact opposite way. And so once you see that, nobody's ever debunked that, meaning that we know for a fact that that's what it does. Somebody in the world would say, hey, my Google Earth says that the sun set, but it didn't really set, or it says it's setting right to left, but it really didn't. Oh, no, it does exactly what it says. So, oops, go back a little bit more. And, okay, so now we go here, and we want to be looking south up there. Let's go this way. All right, and so in, this is 11:29, I thought I was near December, but you'll get the picture. It's the exact opposite upside down. So what I mean by symmetrical is, where's the, this is the best model that there is. Let me show you why. Imagine this. So if we are at this place here, which is, I don't know where, we're at a latitude of, nope, that's the wrong thing. There we go. So we're at 54 degrees north right now, okay? If I move this circle around 54 degrees north, I want you to watch the daylight hours. Okay, do you notice it says 12:17? Look at everywhere on the earth. It's 12 hours, 17 minutes of light for everywhere on that same latitude. And if we move it down a little bit, now we're here in Africa, and it's 12 hours, 10 minutes. And if we move it around, it's 12 hours, 10 minutes all the way around. And if we change the date, and we say, well, what about if we go to June? Well, let's go in somewhere in between there. August here, right? Now let's go August. Let's go back to our here. Look at the time. So it says 13 hours, 5 minutes. Watch me move the longitude line. 13 hours and 5 minutes all the way around the earth. This is called symmetry. This is impossible on a flat earth. Let's keep going somewhere else. Let's go down to 26 degrees, sorry, 35 degrees south. Look at the daylight time, 10:58. Move our longitude line and look at the daylight hours, 10:58 or 10:55, whatever that says. Okay, so you start to notice that there's a really strange thing that happens on the earth, that we all, on the same latitude, see exactly the same thing, especially with daylight hours. Here's another thing that you need to pay attention to. If we take this all the way to the top, let me go all the way to the top. Okay, so we're now at the top of the North Pole, and you'll notice here it says 24 hours is your daylight because we are going to move ourselves back to June 21st. Okay, so there we are on the North's summer solstice. You'll notice it says 24. Now watch. If I drop this latitude, watch the time. It's at 24. As soon as we get outside the circle, goes to quickly 19, 18, 17, 16. Look at it. 15, 14, 13. Look, 12, 11, 10. Look at it perfectly. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then to 0. Okay? And if we flip it, it goes the other, exactly the opposite. So now we'll take the date. We're going to go to December 21st. Now you'll see that up down at the bottom, we've got 24 hours of sun. And if we move that longitude line back up, watch it. 24, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Perfectly. This can be verified. This is not guesswork. This is not pretend. This is not a cartoon. This can be verified. Okay? Once you realize that, then you realize the north is the opposite of the south. Identically. Look at the times, go somewhere 37 north, look at a certain date, look at the daylight times, then go somewhere 37 south, look at the exact same time, but 6 months later, and you'll notice the exact same daylight hours. How could that be possible? We live in a symmetrical world. As above, so below. It is the same. Once you realize that, Moz tricks, everybody else that can't seem to understand, once I saw that the south was not a lie, and that the south matched the observations that we were supposed to see if it was a globe, I knew that it was a globe. And it can't be that, oh, well, you just went somewhere where it matches. No, the world matches perfectly everywhere. In fact, you can go down to the south. Let's go down here and see this. We'll go down to where we were at negative 79 south, right about there-ish. 79, okay. And then we were at 80, oops, no, minus about 80. Okay, so there's us at Union Glacier. And you can actually see, if I could move this out a little bit, see the path of the sun is, I wish it would let me tip it that way. Can't really see it that way. Well, you can kind of see that the red line is the sun staying above the horizon the whole time. So we take the date or time and we move the time here. Watch the sun as it goes around. You see it there going around that red line. Okay, go this way. So you see it's just circling our heads right to left as we stood inside that circle. Okay, great. Now we understand that. So as you pull away from there, so if we go here and we go latitude, now we're going to start moving away. Watch as this line, I want to actually go, towards South America. That's where we're going. Okay, so watch that line as it dips underneath the earth. Watch that red line. You can still see it there, and then all of a sudden, look at it now. Do you see what happened to it? Look how it got blocked by the earth. So the sun was doing just fine before. Let's move it back away. Notice that the sun is not being blocked. I wish I could show you lower. Let me move this up. There we go. Now it's better. Okay, so notice that there the sun is above the horizon the whole time. This earth is not getting in my way. See how it's just a red line? If we move this time. So we move the time. Notice that the sun just stays on that red line. It's going around the whole time. See it? The sun is staying above the horizon. But as soon as we start moving away, back towards South America, which I saw in real time, as we started to head back to South America, watch how the sun gets eclipsed right there. Gone. Now, if we look at it, half of the, or very small section of that is below the horizon. We cannot see the sun. It's too far. It's being blocked by the earth. As you're down here, there's no earth blocking it. You saw it for 24 hours. Up here, no earth blocking it. You saw it for 24 hours. Down here, we did see it. Now, if we go to Punta Arenas, this is the exact same. Let me move my longitude back a little bit. There we are in Punta Arenas. And here's another proof of the globe. Ready? Watch this. If we go and we bring up, you can actually click down here to, we're going to turn on the tropics. We're going to turn on the polar circles. We're going to turn on the sun beam. Okay. So this is the sun coming into the earth here and hitting this Punta Arenas. I want to show you, if we go, we're going to drop down to the tip of South America there. Okay, there. Now I want you to watch something. We're going to actually, twilight is what I want on. There's the plane of the sun hitting the earth. Okay. Watch, that's Africa. Let's go back here. So we're going to watch as the sun comes and sets. I want you to watch something. So we'll go here. It's 13:07. Okay, watch. Here comes the sunset. Now notice which place gets the sun for the longest. Would be this very tip of South America. Notice how it's already set. We'll go back. Notice it's bright. It's daylight. Here comes the sun. It's going to set. And when it sets, all these places in the top are getting dark. Notice that, getting dark. Now it's dark there, but the last place that still gets light is the very tip of South America, right? Now watch as the sun rises. Okay? As the sun rises, you'll notice who gets the light first. Notice the very bottom of South America. It's already got the light. Here comes. Now it's daylight, so they get the light the longest. And so where on South America then gets the most sun? Clearly, the very tip of South America, right? Because it gets it earliest and it stays dark, stays light the longest. So then, if that were true, then as we move up here, the daylight hours should change. So let's see, we're December 22nd. Look at the daylight hours, 16:34. And as we move up on our longitude, watch the time. Oops, that's the wrong way. As we move up here, look at the time, 16, 15, 14. Why are those places? Think of the flat Earth map. Those places would get more sun. Look at 13, 12. So between here and South America, there's a difference of 6 hours of daylight. Why is that? Well, again, very easy to see when you move the time. It makes all the sense in the world. Look at the predictive model. Look at how this gets the sun the last. There it is. It's still in light there. And it's the first one to get light right there. This is also the reason Steve from Spacebusters is wrong about the sun can never rise somewhere west of somewhere else first. That's a complete and total fabrication and lie. It absolutely can. In fact, it does it in the United States. Watch this. In the United States, I know places west of places east that get the sunrise first. How do we do that? We just move the date to June 21st. There we are at the summer solstice. Watch these places here. You're going to see a place west of Florida get the sun first. Let's go here. Even though Steve told you all that it couldn't happen, it's impossible, and it proves the globe wrong, it actually proves the globe. So here we go. Watch as the sun comes around. And look at this place. Look at here. So these places up here already have the sun. Florida does not. See that? So we actually have places well west of places east that get the sun first, Steve Falconer. Okay, these things are all evidence and proof of the globe. You'll notice there, you got now Florida in the light, but you've got places over here getting the light first, but they're west. They're west of Florida. Look at here. All these places here are west of Florida. They all get the sunrise first. How is that? On a flat Earth, absolute and totally impossible. On a globe Earth, is predicted, is executed, is confirmed. So this is why I find it very hard to talk to flat earthers, because if they really care about the truth, they'll see these things and go, oh, I never knew that. Oh, shoot, I didn't know that. Oh, wow, that happens? Okay, let me look into that. No, instead, there, if I go back to the chat, there'll just be people losing their minds with no reason. Let's look at a couple super chats. I see that some came in. Addicted to Globing says, just testing a theory. Ignore this super chat. All right. Oh, you're trying to gain your spacing? You're number 2 now. Thank you for $20, but I'll always ignore $20 super chats. And we got Claire Celestin says, it's cool watching you teach astronomy and doing a pretty damn good job at it. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It just comes with actually looking into it, right? If you want to know the truth, you're going to keep digging. Again, and I admit, as a flat earther, you think you have the truth, and so you kind of stop looking. You kind of just ignore people who say you're wrong, ignore people who say that they know the truth and you don't. You just kind of ignore them because your brain builds up a barrier. Like, it doesn't want to hear that. It would rather be happy in its current beliefs. They say that there's 3 ways that you can get somebody to see something new: repetition, trauma, or personal experience. And I think that's probably true. Thank God it wasn't the trauma for me, although it ended up being both. But it really was the personal experience. I couldn't tell you anything different if I tried. Once your eyes have seen the sun set right to left, have seen the sun do what it's supposed to do on a globe, have seen the sun circle your head for 4 days, there is no more ifs, ands, or buts about it. So anyway, like I was saying, but Steve Falconer's making videos saying, Antarctica's fake and that the globe Earth's fake, because how could it be that places in the west get the sun before places in the east if the sun rises in the east? Well, it does, but because of the way that the sun works, you actually do have that happen. So if we go down to the south, go to December 21st, and do the same thing. We're going to look under here. Remember, he was talking about 2 places right here. So watch this place here and this place here. He had basically had 2 places. He said this place in the west gets the sun first, therefore the Earth can't be a globe. But again, we move this around. Watch the time here. Okay, so watch the sun here. Let's go. We want to get to it's dark. Must have been not in December. Obviously, 24-hour sun. Let's go about there. So we're in October here, and you'll notice that as we spin, watch that spot I just pointed to, and you'll see that it gets the sun first. Okay, let me actually do this a little bit. So watch it. Okay, so you'll see that these places are west of this place, right? But they get the sun first. It's just the way that a globe works, because the sun's coming south of east. So look at that, how it works, how it peels back. That's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible that we can predict those things, we can see those things, and the Earth is a symmetrical sphere. Now you're going to find somebody who says, oh, it says it's not a sphere. It's actually, right, it's not a perfect sphere. Get over it. They're saying that the equator is like 1% fatter because of the spin. But none of that even matters to me. We should take baby steps. Baby steps meaning that we recognize we were wrong about the shape of the Earth, recognize that it's probably a sphere, and then we move forward. And again, if you want to hold on to the flat Earth because you really have an attachment to it, then you can do that. Hold on to it and hope that you see something that makes you go, oh, maybe that could explain it. And then you come out and you explain, hey, this is what I found. But what you don't do is act like children and run around Facebook calling other people names. That's what you don't do, because you don't have anything. And when I say that, it's not like you can come back and say, actually, we do. What do you have? Flat Earth is content now saying they don't have a model. Okay, you don't have a model. We don't have a map. Okay, you don't have a map. So what do you have? Water lies level. Okay, that's the globe claim. The globe says that water lies level. Water finds its level. The globe says water finds its level. So you really have nothing. Well, the ground's measured flat. The globe says the ground below your feet is measured flat. That's what the globe says. So you haven't found anything. We haven't knocked the globe off of its perch. We haven't found a thing. It's been 10 years. And I keep asking this question. Please tell me the one thing that Flat Earth has brought besides the idea of questioning things, because I agree with that. Okay, but I'm talking about if you question things and you find out that you're wrong, then you stop questioning that thing because you're wrong. So if we were right, a lot of you still think we're right, what have we brought? Wouldn't we have to make some change? Wouldn't we point out like, hey, actually this Venus orbit doesn't work here, but it does work better? And then we would change things, but we've never changed a thing. We haven't changed a thing. We've just continued to be wrong. What is the best thing I brought? I brought, all this anecdotal evidence. I mean, I brought that the AE map was once on a website and then they took it down because they said they didn't want people thinking that the North was important. I took that to mean they're hiding the flat Earth. I was wrong. They lied about my experiment in Behind the Curve. I took that to mean that they couldn't prove the globe, so they had to lie about my experiment, so I took that as meaning it was a flat Earth. There's so many cases like that. Stephen Hawking faking his experiment in the Nat Geo thing. Those things made me think that the Earth was flat. Now, once you realize that you're wrong, well, there must be another reason for that. Maybe it's a psyop. Maybe they want you to think the Earth's flat. I don't really know, but they do love strife, right? They do love pitting citizens against citizens. So just like you guys are smart enough to say, what, right, left paradigm, I don't agree with that. They're just trying to put us against each other. It's all the same feathers of the same bird. The flat Earth versus globe Earth is the same thing. It's no different than right versus left, black versus white, male versus female, trans versus non-trans. It's just a method to get you to not look at what's going on above you as we spend millions of dollars in wars that we shouldn't be in over countries that we should have nothing to do with in areas of the world that are, struggling right now. But we are just providing money and our itinerary. There's basically a genocide going on right while we're watching. It's pretty crazy. But while that's all going on, we're worried about the shape of the Earth. And I imagine that the elite just sit up in their high perches laughing away. That like these guys think that we could lie to them about the shape of the Earth. Again, you cannot lie to people about the shape of the Earth unless they want to be lied to, because you can make observations. So go make the observations. You'll see that the Earth's a sphere and they can't lie to you about it. The only way they can is if you say, I'm not going to go make observations and I'm just going to believe people on YouTube who tell me, like Banjo says, that we faked the experiment, that there's a 24-hour sun. Or you can just go verify yourself, So I'll check the chat one more time and we'll be closing down here in a second. I see that. Thank you. Maybe we'll get some dinner with Lockwood. What do you think, Lockwood?
Ooh, that would be nice.
Let's get over here. Top chat. All right. Any final questions for me? I see Jaron. Does geometry say the ground beneath us is flat level? The globe says a lot of nonsense. Yeah. I mean, what are you talking about? For all practical purposes, yes. I just told you in 660 feet, the Earth curves 1/8 inch. Now, to you, does that mean that the geometry says that the ground is flat and level beneath us? That's the problem. Okay, according to numbers, no, 1/8 inch is not flat and level. However, we're human beings. If we're talking about 660 feet, you will never see 1/8 inch of curve. It's impossible. So no, it's flat. Do you see the difference? Just like water. Imagine you're out in the ocean and you can see 660 feet in front of you. That's 2 football fields in length. You probably wouldn't even be able to see that far. But let's say you can. Do you think you'd be able to notice 1/8 inch of curve? It's a nickel. The waves and the ripples in the water are infinitely larger than that. You just wouldn't see it. So the fact that we're all going out and expecting to find curve, we said we went and looked and we couldn't find curve anywhere. Yeah, well, you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it. It's too slight. And that's not the globe's fault. That's not science's fault. That's the way the Earth is. So you can't blame them for that. You can't be like, oh, you guys get away with it by saying it's so big that we don't see the curve. That's the Earth. It's mapped. Go north 69 miles tonight, and what happens to the North Star? It will raise by 1 degree. Go another 69 miles. What will happen then? It'll raise by 1 degree. Go another 69 miles. It'll raise by 1 degree. What is 360 times 69 miles? It's the circumference of the Earth. So you can actually verify tonight with a friend who lives somewhere else in the world. Just verify, say, hey, can you go drive 69 miles on a north latitude from you and tell me how much, measure the pole star when you leave your house, measure the pole star when you get there, and tell me what the difference is. When they say, oh, it raised 1 degree for me, and then you do it from your house somewhere else in the world, and it also raises 1 degree, then you can make the assumption that everybody on Earth would have the same thing happen. In order for that not to be true, you need to find the one person that says that it does not happen. And you won't find that because the Earth is mapped. It moves 1 degree of star rotation for every 69 miles as long as you're going straight north. Don't go northeast because it's going to be a little different. That's not exactly correct. The star is going to drop, but not exactly by 1 degree because you have to stay north-south on a longitude line. That's another thing Sav said this week. I heard Sav say, he's like, oh, why is there no great circle routes north and south? Sav, Dumbo, every single line of longitude, every single one of them is a great circle. So why would you say that? Every longitude line, if you look at this map here, see all these longitude lines, the ones that run up and down? Those are all great circles. Every one of them. Now, east-west, there's only one great circle. Where's the one great circle east-west? The equator. Everything else is a concentric circle going east-west that is a smaller and smaller circle as you go to the north or to the south. So those are not great circles. So Sav said, why is there no great circles in north-south routes, but every single north-south line of longitude is a great circle? All of them. So this guy's just clueless. I mean, if anybody's watching that channel now, boy, are you on one. So that's your answer, Dick Wayne. Even though so far you've not busted me on anything, you've not given a good question. Everything you're saying is just your inability to think through the problem at hand. That's all it is. Do you see a couple things? Large bodies of standing water are as close to perfectly flat and level horizontal as nature gets. What better tool is there when determining flat and level? Yeah, what are you talking, dude? I cannot believe somebody's this dumb. Yes, large bodies of water are close to perfectly flat. You notice you said as close? Correct. Did you know that they've done a measurement on a local scale and found out that the deviation from level of water locally is less than the wavelength of color, the color green. So it's basically like it is flat, but we're not talking about that. You never need to, if you're standing where you are now, yes, the water will be flat and level in your bathtub and your swimming pool. Now your neighbor's swimming pool, or let's say a city that's 30 miles away, and they have a swimming pool. If you think that your pool and their pool are level, you are wrong. Okay, they're level as far as the distance from the center of the earth, but if you think they're horizontal, you are wrong. Okay, that place far away from you on either side of you or any direction is lower than you. And that's the way the world works. But you will never see that because you are looking locally. That's the answer. Hate to tell you. Galaxy Soup in the House, what up? Say hello. Hello, how are you? He's just a dick, Gumi. So nice. Cave wins again. Bang, bang. Yeehaw. See you next time, foolies. Don't know what that means. Just seeing if there's anything else here. All right, well, it looks like it. I believe we are stationary and there are millions, trillions of stars moving faster than light speed. I don't think you think that. Do you really? Wait, the person's name is Flat and Geocentric Forever says, I believe we are stationary and there are trillions of stars moving faster than the speed of light around us. I don't think that person can be real. That's pretty blatantly a troll, I think. Yeah, perfectly flat. Let me just show you one thing and then we'll be done. So this is the problem, Dick Wayne, with what you're saying. Wait, where's my... Do I have GeoGebra still? I got rid of it. Is this what you're not getting about the shape of the water or the flatness of the water? If we go open again to the Home Depot Earth, by the way, if you want a link to this, you can have it. Okay, so we're down here. You can see that good. Okay, so notice this, Dick Wayne. See this water down here? Let's get super doomed here in there. We're going to look at this guy. He's 6 foot tall right here. See him? This is you, Dick Wayne, okay? You're saying because this body of water is flat, that the Earth is flat. So would he be right if we said, well, that's a pretty good assumption if you're an ancient human and you think, okay. And then you look at this Olympic-sized swimming pool and you're like, but Jaron, the Olympic-sized swimming pool, it's surely flat. Yeah, you're right. It looks pretty damn flat. Okay, if we got super down in here, we're not going to notice any deviation. That looks flat as F. Look at that. We can't even tell there's any change there. So it is pretty flat. You're right. But as we zoom out, we notice that if you get back far enough, look at all this flatness. All of a sudden, the Earth, oops, go back. I don't want to move my buildings. Thank you. Let's move this way. So as we move back through all these buildings and everything, we notice something. And that is that the Earth over huge distances curves. Notice how big this is? Look how far back we had to move just to get this slight little curve. So do you understand, if you live on the earth, you're not going to see it curve. Look at these buildings. This is all really scaled. Could you tell that this Burj Khalifa building is a different height than this one? No, they look flat. Think of how small we are. We're way down here, tiny little humans. This is the pyramid. Okay? So look at this. And if we got back here, again, so this is what I say to everybody, is that water does lie flat. Now, if you got over here and you said, well, what about this area, Jaron? This looks pretty curved. Well, let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. Look what happened at that line. Is that curved? And remember, the Earth works as the center of gravity is, the bottom is the middle of the Earth. So if we spun this around so that we were back on the top, we would notice this is flat. So everywhere on Earth is flat and level, except for hills and valleys and those kind of things. But I'm saying in general, the sphere Earth is so big that everywhere we measure level. That's what you should expect. That's what you can get. And that's it. It's that simple. It's that simple. Human being, what up? Did you get your Dearth ball or no? I don't know if you got it or not. I don't see him in there. Tourette 3006 says, hello, is there any provision YouTube provides where we can throw a membership we accidentally get in the trash? I would like to give up mine. Well, I'll do that for you. Let me go give Tourette a good boot and banning, because that's what you get for being smart. Can you imagine going into somebody's chat to say that? Like, what kind of pathetic life do you have? Must be really pathetic. Tourette, where are you at? Tourette 3006, thank you. We are going to hide the user from this channel. There we go, Tourette, you're gone. Aren't you happy now? We don't have to see your face anymore. Anybody else want to go? Please raise your hand. Love to send you the door. If Banjo was using a 23-year-old computer, I wonder what version of DOS he was using. It's Joe King, isn't it hilarious? Oh, my computer's 23 years old. Mm-hmm. And you're running a live stream on it? I would like to see that. Human being, did you get your Dearth ball, or is it on the way? It was probably on the way. Dick Wayne says, Jaron, I understand the mental gymnastics your ego has to go through to prove itself not a fool. I don't know what you're talking about. I fully understand the excuses. I have trouble accepting them since I grew up. I doubt that. I think you accepted them just fine. And I don't think you understood them, because if you did accept them before, then if you understood them, then you wouldn't be asking me the questions you're asking me today. Do you understand? You are revealing that you don't understand. So to say, oh, I grew up with these things and I didn't accept, but you don't understand them. Just hearing things is not enough to complete a thought process. You must understand what you're hearing, and then you can think about it, and then you can come to a conclusion. Seeing if there's anybody else. Jaron, you sent it? I haven't checked today. Yeah, I don't remember what day we sent it. I think like Monday, so it should be there pretty soon. And I signed the top, and then I also signed the bottom. J Sauce says, talking about you. Yeah, it's hilarious. Keep it up, says Lindsay Bowe. Nice to see you here. It's tough to teach those who refuse to learn when presented with facts. Yeah, it's pretty much done. I'm pretty much over it. It's going to be, I did my 12-part series. I think what I do want to do is I want to make some courses or something that I don't have to talk about this anymore. I can just put them on my website, and if somebody asks them and say, go look at my courses, they are simple and they explain to you why we were wrong about the shape of the Earth. And that's what we'll do. See if anybody else is here. I'll go check for my Dearth ball right now. I'm so hyped for it. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, I don't know what you're going to do with that. You should collect them all. I think that they'll be worth something in the future. Maybe not. Maybe not. All right. I think I'm going to head out of here. I'm going to check the super chats one more time. I appreciate you guys being here. We got tomorrow. By the way, tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Pacific is the Dave McKeegan and I finale of the Moon Hoax, Moon Landing, Moon Truth, Apollo streams. So that's going to be tomorrow, 1:30 on this channel and his channel. So definitely come by for that. We were going to do today, but we postponed it one day. So please be there for that. Okay, that's all super chats. Appreciate that very much. You guys are all very kind. To Dave's Waffle House, to Addicted to Globing, to Where's Wally, to Mac Gary, to Joshua McTaggart, to Alan, and to Addicted to Globing again, and to Claire. Appreciate you guys very much. And to everybody else, thank you for being here. To Lockwood, thank you very much for being my right-hand man. To Enrique, we appreciate you being here. Enrique, you got anything to say to everybody? We would appreciate it. Anything?
You left Flat Earth behind? Good. Now let's work on your fashion choices.
We don't need to talk about my fashion choices. Weirdo. That's Enrique. He'll be here every week. You know that. And do we have anything to say from the NBA Jam guy? Does he have a name? I don't even know. NBA Jam guy, you got anything to say on the way out of here? Please. Huh?
When you get dunked on like that, you really ought to consider retirement.
Thank you. That's actually one from the show. For one from the game. How about one? I do like this one again.
Eric Dubé brings the ball up the court, doesn't want to pass it, finally does over to DJ Curious, who just stands there looking confused. Wait, from inside his shorts comes Mark Sargent, who was hiding in there, grabs the ball, and crosses half dork, hand off to David Weiss, who is in Mark's pocket, dribbles, tries to sell the app to those at courtside. He ducks, dives, lies, and cuts ties. He's still playing damage control. He's pressured, so he passes to his Microsoft whistleblower, who doesn't exist, and the ball skips away.
Damn it.
There's Jaren. He saves the day. Comes up with the ball based on facts and evidence and not his religious text. He's got a wide open path, but the entire team is surrounding him, and oh boy! Oh geez! Jaren made a mistake. It appears, yes indeed it looks like, he brought truthers the truth. They want none of it. They just grabbed the ball and popped it. The ball has been popped by those loud, snot-nosed, possibly retarded flat earthers down there. How could they? And look over there. Now they just threw Jaren under the bus. Brutal. Well, I guess we're going to play Frisbee now.
We'll play Frisbee. That's okay. We'll play Frisbee. I believe that's it. So be here tomorrow, 1:30. Let's listen to this real quick on Dave Weiss.
Denied like Dave Weiss at a science fair.
That's a good point.
Boom! Shaka! What the fuck? David Weiss thinks rockets are balloons.
We're going to play Flashback Friday on the way out of here, guys. It's been fun. I remind you, do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe that you can't tell the shape of the ground by looking at the lights in the sky. You can tell Dave Weiss he's a dirtball, and so is this week's winner, which was the one and only Banjo, Brazil, retardation, and mental case. Flashback Friday. See you guys tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Thanks. Peace.
Flashback Friday, can we roll that tape? Let's dig, rewind to when I thought I had it straight. I said some wild shit. Yeah, to that there's no debate. Now I'm laughing at myself. Ha! Ain't growth great? Yeah, I said it. And I was wrong. I get it. Okay, that's my bad. I'm sorry if I led you all astray. But let's not waste time and dwell on yesterday. But if we must, here's a list of losers that I hate. Mark Sargent, Pete and Peter, Dr. Zach, Eric Dubé, Flat Earth Dave, No Fanfare, Rory Cooper and P-Brain, Kyle Adams and Nathan Oakley, the mute button soulmate, QE and the crayon munching retards on Flat Earth debate. Princess Warrior, Phoenix Z and his bitch snatch a cat too. Haters gonna hate, talking shit is all you two can do. Grandpa solving ratoids panel are just lame and dumb. And look how unhinged 5'6" Jake the asshole has become. His baby dick is tiny, yes. His closet home is tiny too. I think rusted soul, something rusted cause she chose to sleep with you. Q and F-E, you gross, that dude's a piece of shit. King Nico is no king, the guy sits when he takes a piss. Karen B lost a thread, so did Orphan Red. Alan and Shane have the answers, well not really, but they said Slow Sanchez is the slowest that ever did exist. Drop a 1 in the chat if you expect the stupid to persist. Egghead Anthony Riley is so smart but still says flat. I'm not saying he's big bone, saying sleeping warriors fat. Conspiracy music guru is going down with the ship. He and Steve Falconer block me cause they both a little bitch. Retards, Russian kids and banjo say Jesus is the shit. Ronnie and Jason are so dumb they seem the perfect fit. Stipulation explains how level-headed William is rising up. So will the real Deltardians please shut up? Iron Horse, K, Podgy, fittest flat earthers on TikTok I hate. While Caleb thinks he's winning by modding his own debates. Taboo conspiracy won't get it and Marty Leeds is too weak. Brian's logic, take the shit out your mouth before you speak. Rick Hummer on Strange World now, a puppet that's his role. Joe Hanvey got the whole world in an upside down salad bowl. Who said all flat maps predict a 24-hour sun? I know who. Liar, pilot, doctor, Professor Grifter, Steven, I lie so much. Alonzo, PhD, that's who. Allegedly Dave, Sean Griffin, and Zen Garcia makes me furious. Steve from England, Phuket, Word, Matt Long and DJ Curious. Pastor Dean blames Satan while he throws little fits. Lowry agrees, Nicole and Daniel Pratt have
some great tips. Nathan Thompson is lurking outside of a school. Scary. Santos Bonacci is at Lowe's cause he's a fucking tool. Harry, many more to blame for lying to the masses. Flat Earth is over, it's done, pack it up, jackasses. But Flashback Fridays isn't for us to worry about the past. But Flashback Fridays, it reminds us that Jaren's great. Earth is a